This is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? What? It's
What?
Friday. My voice understands it is Friday. Let's do this thing. It's Football Friday presented by Quack Car Wash on the Monty Show. Big show as always for you. Utah is in Pasadena. Taking on Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Bow down. Give greatness. Give praise.
It's not happening.
Give awesomeness.
Nope.
D.
Nope.
T.
Nope.
R.
Nope. Can't do it.
T. R.
Nope.
D. T. R.
Yeah.
Are you finally coming around to
No.
my guy?
No.
We'll talk lots of Utah and UCLA. Is Dorian Thompson-Robinson the best quarterback in the Pac-12? Yes. Hey, I think BYU's off this week, aren't they?
Right.
They don't-
Right. No game. No. Nah.
Nothing of importance, not being disrespected by the opponent at all or anything like that. BYU is in Las Vegas, getting ready to take on Notre Dame. Got a lock on that game. There's a lot to talk about. These injuries on the defensive line and on the defensive side of the football are becoming a bit much.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all of that. What's wrong with Danger Russell Wilson? Were you impressed with the 12-9 final score that you saw last night?
No, that was like one of the worst games I think has ever been played in the National Football League.
That was ugly. Lots going on the show today, presented by the Advocates. UtahAdvocates.com. When you've been in an accident, whether that's a car accident, whether that's a motorcycle, hey, did you get hurt at work? No matter what it is, you need somebody to fight for you. The thing that I will tell you again, please do not trust your or their insurance company. They're not there for you. They're there for them. You need somebody that's going to fight for you. Let the Advocates fight the insurance company while you recover. No cost consultations, no big retainer fees. You don't pay the Advocates a penny until they win your case at UtahAdvocates.com. Jake, right out of the gate, bigger game, Utah or BYU?
I think that this Utah game versus UCLA is a huge game. Like, I look at this game and I say, if you win this game, for Utah, if you win this game, you're really setting yourself up to reach some really high marks this season. I think that, if you lose this game, obviously it's a little bit of a setback. It's not great, but when you look at the schedule, you've got this UCLA, USC swing. So to me, there's a lot of opportunity here. So, which is the bigger game? I'd probably go with the Utah game, but I think that, for BYU, there is so much opportunity here. I mean, if you were to come out and win this game, and a lot of people, based on reading and seeing what everyone's saying about it, a lot of people think that BYU is going to win this game by a field goal, and I think that they can win it by a touchdown. I think they're capable of that, but they're going to have to create some turnovers. You can't allow, Drew Pine to just stand back there and do whatever the hell he wants. So to me, I think the bigger game is probably Utah and UCLA, but I think both of these teams have a ton to play for, and I think both of them have pretty large potential if they can find a way to win these games this week.
Yeah, I think very clearly BYU is playing for their season. And I'm not saying that Utah is not, but I think when you have the luxury of being in the Pac-12, I think you realize very quickly that you have get-back games. BYU doesn't have a get-back game. If they're a two-loss team, their season's essentially coming down to which, pool and weed eater, Acme roach killer bowl that they're going to go to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just think that you have far less room for error if you are BYU.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that BYU it's always been that kind of situation for BYU as an independent. And I think that's one of the fascinating parts that we'll finally get to talk about next year with this team, being in the Big 12 and having the conference affiliation and having that more natural path to the college football playoff. You won't have to deal with this issue moving forward. But right now, I think that, again, if you can find a way to beat Notre Dame, I think it does so much for you. It allows you to say, hey, obviously we beat Notre Dame. It was a great game, neutral site, national game. Like, huge moment.
Yeah, dude.
And then you look forward, and it's like, all right, then you've got Arkansas coming up after this game, and it's like, all right, if you could find a way to win both of these, that would be crazy. But I think the problem is that with what happened in the Oregon game, it makes me I'm concerned. I have to be honest. Like, I don't trust this team in big games. I trust that they can reel Wyoming back in, but I don't trust this team right now in like big national games.
When you say you don't trust BYU in big games, what does that mean? Like, is it a performance issue? Is it a coaching issue? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a multitude of things. I think that, like against Oregon, the reason I felt great about them going up there and actually having a chance to break that home winning streak that Oregon has was because I felt like, hey, you had just come off a big victory. Like, there was a lot of momentum in the program. You were feeling great about yourself. And then you just came out flat. And I don't know, like, there's not a good explanation as to why they came out flat. And that's kind of what I've been talking about all week. That's kind of been my thing this week. Like, what is the answer or the fix for coming out flat? I don't know what that is. Is it the way they prepared during the week? Is it, the first 10 plays on offense that are scripted by A-Rod and the boys? Like, what is it? And so to me, when you're going to a neutral site game against a team like Notre Dame, who has an absolute, wrecking ball of a running back in Estime, who's ready to go for this game and clearly is hyped on this game, you're telling me that I should have faith that this team isn't going to come out flat, that this team is going to come out ready to take someone's head off. Like, that's my thing.
I don't know that it's have faith, but what I do know is this team is very well coached. Kalani Sitake and this staff, I'm a big believer in Ed Lamb. I'm a big believer in A-Rod. Tuiaki, like, I know that there's questions about Tuiaki. My biggest question is, do you have the goods? Do you have the talent on defense to win this game? That's the only thing that matters to me. When you look at the injuries that we're talking about, if Gabe Summers is anything less than 95%, they're not winning this game. If he doesn't play, they're not winning this game.
Right.
They've got to stop the run. And to do that, you're going to have to be exceptional up front. You're going to have to be consistent. My biggest fear with this game for BYU is you have not been consistent up front. You have not consistently had 7 guys in the right place at the right time. And you mentioned the Oregon game. I think we saw that on display against Oregon. And I think, frankly, that's why Notre Dame's a 3.5-point favorite in this game. And maybe that line is accurate. I don't know. But if BYU is not going to consistently display an ability to stop the run, they're not going to be in this game. They are going to get gashed. It is going to be a clock control game for Notre Dame, which is exactly what they're trying to do. Fast. And I think that when you look at Estime and you look at the way that this offense has worked this year for Notre Dame, they want to control the clock, and they want to do that with the run game. And I think Drew Pine is a decent, not exceptional in any way, not special in any way, but he's got enough weapons, especially with Michael Mayer at tight end. He's got enough weapons to beat you with his arm because they're going to run the football well. It's simply a matter of what BYU's answer on defense is.
Yeah, and I think we all have some, maybe anxiety is too strong, but some fear of this concept of BYU just being, of Notre Dame being able to just run all over BYU, of the the ghost of missed tackles in the Oregon game coming back to get you in the Notre Dame game, and I think those are completely justified. Frankly, I think again, guys like Max Tooley and Ben Bywater need to show the hell up in this game. Like, I need, for those guys specifically to set the tone early in this game. And again, I know that Audric Estime is a difficult guy to tackle. This is someone who is sub 6 feet, so his pad level is really low. I think we looked yesterday, he was like 225, 230-pound back. Like, this guy is for real. And I look at this and I say, okay, yeah, if Notre Dame is going to be able to run and control the clock, that essentially just means that Jaron Hall and that offense are going to have to score every time they have the ball. And that's never a recipe for success. So,
yeah, and I think the guy you're going to hear a lot about on Saturday afternoon in Vegas is Micah Harper. I think he's a guy now with Malik Moore being out for BYU as we get you ready for BYU and Notre Dame on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. I think what you're seeing is you're looking at a situation where you have a guy in Malik Moore that's not going to play with a broken hand. This is a big deal for this defense. And I think we've seen with him out of the lineup. I mean, Micah Harper, I think, has played pretty well. And I think he's a guy that is not going to replace, obviously, what Malik Moore brings to the yard, but he's a guy that can do some things, and I've been impressed with his play in the box at the line of scrimmage. And obviously, as we've been talking about, I mean, against Audric Estime and Notre Dame, you're going to need that.
Yes.
But you look at the tackle leaders for Notre Dame, and you look at for BYU, you look at the numbers. It's Bywater, it's Peyton Wilger, it's Tyler Batty, it's Keenan Peely. Like, those guys are going to have to be at the top of the list because you're going to have to break Notre Dame's will. And I just, I'm not trying to be negative. I just don't know that BYU is that football team. I don't know. We've talked a lot about, is Kalani Sitake too nice? And is this where this comes back to bite you in the ass? Because I don't know that this defense is mean. If we're being really brutally honest, is BYU's defense mean, tough? Do they want to fight? Are they a snarling group? I don't know the answer to that. And I think if you want to win this game, you better be a hell of a lot meaner than you were at Autzen Stadium against Oregon, because you were soft in that game. And if you're going to be soft in this game, Notre Dame's going to run all over you because they're bigger than you are up front. You're injured on the defensive line. Your safeties are going to be down at the line of scrimmage. Your linebackers are going to have a big afternoon. And frankly, Jake, I just don't know that they're that guy.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the leadership on the team, and it's like this, like BYU is notorious for being nice. Like, I think we can all agree with that. It's always been a conversation piece. At the same time, I think that when we talk to, like, on the show, when we talk to guys like Max Tooley or anybody else that we might have on from the defense, like, I think that these guys are very accountable to their mistakes and the missed tackles. But I do tend to agree. Like, I would love to hear a guy like Max say something like Estime said. I would love to hear them say, yeah, we're coming out looking to shut these guys down because we know that their lifeblood is the run. And if we stop the run, this game's over. Like, I would have loved to have heard someone from BYU say that.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's who they are. I mean, I think when you look at this game and you look at how this game sets up, and you start trying to diagnose how these two teams are going to go about their business, I think it would be shocking if BYU comes out flat. I'd be really surprised by that.
Same.
I would be really surprised if BYU were not better against the run this week. They've spent a lot of time in practice talking about a gap, being gap sound, being assignment sound at linebacker. You're going to have your safeties down at the line of scrimmage, and thankfully Micah Harper is a much more stout defender against the run than Malik Moore is, and Drew Pine, again, the quarterback at Notre Dame, is not a prolific passer at this point in his career, but they've spent a lot of time stopping the run this week.
Yeah.
I want to see the fruits of that labor on the field. And this is a one-possession game. This is a field goal kind of game. This is going to be dirty, nasty football. And I like what you've said this week. I think you're exactly right. This could be the game that Jaren Hall defines his BYU career by, because I think he's a guy that's going to have a massive, massive day on the box score. He's going to have to throw for 300. He's probably going to have to run for 50. Miles Davis is not likely to play in this game. I think you are going to see the Jaren Hall show. Now, I am also told that Puka Nacua should be good to go in this game. Chase Roberts is much more up in the air. But Puka and Gunner should be on the field together for the first time this year on a full-time basis. I think that's a big get, but it's going to be hi. Good to meet you. It's going to be the Braden Cospers of the world that are going to win this game for BYU, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that, Jaren is the one guy you can look to on this team and say, yeah, he's been really consistent. We know what we're getting from Jaren Hall, and I think that, again, we talk so much about the run with Notre Dame, but at the same time, I think if that backfield can somehow produce, 100, 150 yards, that'd be crazy. I mean, what would that do for this offense? But that's probably not going to happen. And so to me, it's like it comes down to, again, big plays. Like I've said, I think early in the game, if you can, manufacture that 40-yard touchdown bomb to kind of set the tone, I think that would be huge. And I think that is something that I feel pretty confident they can do. I feel like BYU, especially, when you have for the first time, Puka and Gunner, and then you mix in Keanu Hill, and let's just espouse that Chase Roberts does play. That'd be nice to have him in the slot. Like, there are options. You have options. And I think that if they can just find a way to get their feet on the ground and settle in this game offensively, they're going to be fine. But I ultimately, I really do feel like this comes down to the defense more than the offense. If the defense can stop the run, they're going to be fine. If they don't,
we'll see.
We'll
see. I mean, the secondary players, the Cody Epps of the world comes to mind. Braden Cosper.
Yeah.
Those guys have to play well. Let's get your comments. What do you guys think? Give us score predictions on BYU and Notre Dame. I think this is one of those games where you're going to find out very quickly who's what and where. You're going to find out who wants it. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see exactly who wants to play this football game. And who wants all the smoke, as Jake likes to say. All them young whippersnappers.
Yeah, whippersnappers.
They want the smoke.
Right.
By the way, it is Friday.
Yes.
It is Friday here on the Monty Show. Football Friday presented by our good friends at Quack Car Wash. Love the guys at Quack Car Wash. Send us pictures when you go through the car wash. We love seeing that. We love being able to, to offer you guys free car washes and discounts and whatnot. So send us pictures of yourself going through the car wash at Quack. They're our newest partner on the show. We love having them on board. Bring your kids to that car wash, by the way, because all the different colors, all the different lights, all the friendly faces. Like, it's a fun experience going to Quack, and it's quick. It's 5 minutes.
Yes.
They call themselves Quack.
See
Quack.
what they did there? It's
just
quick,
a
and
quick.
it's in the name. It's Quack.
It's efficient and stuff. Even when the line is long, you're not there 10 minutes. I mean, when the line's long, you're still moving through quick. So make sure you find your nearest Quack Car Wash all over the great state of Utah, Arizona. I know we have a lot of our friends in Phoenix. Look for Quack Car Wash there as well.
Yes.
But great to have Quack on board for Football Friday right here on the Monty Show. First one in this morning, NY Jazz fan. What's up, my guy? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Kurt Myers, what's going on? Kurt says, is the ACC breaking up? Not yet. Not yet. We'll find out. Mike Chase, good morning, says, morning, fellas. Getting ready to drive to Vegas to watch the game. I'll be listening to the best sports talk show in the state as I travel down there. Thanks, Monty.
Let's go, Mike.
Thank you, Mike Chase.
Let's
Appreciate
go.
you, friend. Good to see you.
Yes.
Always good to have you guys on the road watching the show. We very much appreciate that. Kurt Myers says, Mike, be careful down there. Just had a mishap on the strip. Now,
Okay.
There's been some interesting happenings. From what I've been told by fans who have been tweeting me pictures and whatnot, and please feel free to find me on Twitter. Tweet me pictures of your voyage through the great state of Utah, Nevada, and into Vegas. There you see my Twitter. Hit me on Twitter, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show. Would love to see your trip. Would love to see your experience for BYU and Notre Dame in Las Vegas. Provo Cougar fan says, biggest fear, D-line rush 3 scheme.
Yeah.
I think this is where we find out how pliable Kalani Sitake's defensive scheme is. I think you're going to see you can't rush 3 against Notre Dame.
No way.
You can. I wouldn't even rush 3 against Notre Dame in dime situations. I just would not. I would force Drew Pine to throw the ball and beat me, and he's got guys to do that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when you look at that wide receiver core, and you see guys like Mayer and Styles, when you have 3 guys with 10 catches or more already, I mean, you're looking at an offense that can throw the football. But Lorenzo Styles is going to be a huge matchup for BYU in that secondary. It'll be interesting to see how they handle him and Michael Mayer at the same time. Again, Micah Harper's got his hands full, I think. And this is where Michael Mayer worries you, because when you're running the ball and you're so focused on stopping the run, the tight end tends to be a weapon, and BYU has a very, very good tight end. Stephen Barnhart says, good morning from Florida. Stephen, hope you guys are well down there. Justin Salas says, good morning, fellas. I think BYU loses by 7 to 10 points. Didn't really trust BYU in the big games. Well, Alex Chacon says 55 to nothing.
Well, I mean, there is, Okay.
Okay.
Please.
No, I don't think that's an accurate score. I mean, Arlington Bears, my guy. What's up, Chris Karn? Good to see you. Leaving at 10 for Vegas. Let's go. Let's go.
We need pictures at Allegiant.
Yeah,
man.
let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
Tweet at us.
Tweet us those pictures. I want to see it. Chris Karn's actually in our Casuals Getting Cut group on Instagram. Chris, let's see some pictures, my man. I want to see that right here on the show, just like you want to see football at 50, 10 of the hour, every hour. Presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Get 25% off your order of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. I mean, I hesitate to bring up this concussion on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
But it happened again.
Yep.
As Colts running back Nyheim Hines suffered a concussion, stumbled on the field. It was pretty tame. But look at him stumbling. That's a Broncos trainer. Broadcast Thursday Night Football.
Yes.
Here we go with a running back in the NFL suffering a concussion that forces him to stumble and he's unable to walk. I mean, like, how much more of this are NFL fans going to put up with?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a lot lately, and I don't on this highlight. This hit that he takes, to me, because of the beating you take as a running back, he's probably more susceptible.
And by the way, it's worth noting that Jonathan Taylor did not play in that game because of an injury, and this just sucks. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. That's the thing. I mean, again, we can talk about helmet technology all we want, but I don't know that fixes the issue. I really don't. By the way, Colts beat the Broncos in a game that had, 7 field goals in it?
Dude, brutal.
No touchdowns, really no offense. And I think the biggest question is, what is wrong with Russell Wilson? 274, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Like, is this Russell Wilson or is this the Denver Broncos?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I think Russell Wilson's just got to be better. I mean, there's if you watch ESPN on Get Up this morning, they've got a whole breakdown, how he's got guys wide open and he's just missing them. There was one specific play in the end zone where he missed a guy. Like, he's just missing guys. And I kind of feel like this may be that it's a new scheme and he's just struggling to learn it. But I also think that he's just not performing. Like, when you play as long as he's played, and you've played in the games he's played, against the defenses you've played against, at some point, some of this stuff becomes, repeated, right? Like, you understand what cover 2 defense is. You understand when you're probably going to get the corner blitzing, as with what he's done. So my point just is that, yeah, sure, you're learning a new scheme, but some of this stuff isn't rocket science. So, to me, I have to think at some point this gets turned around, but my biggest thing with this game last night, like for Amazon specifically, number one, they still have the audio issue that they're working on. Number
why
two,
is it so, the audio is just so low?
Yeah, and I don't know why this is so difficult to figure out. Typically with audio levels, you just have to make sure that everyone's kind of in the same ballpark and it's fine. But my thing here is that this game, like the prior Thursday night games, have been great games, and they've gotten huge viewership.
Look at Hullabilly. Broncos fans leaving in the 4th was hilarious. Like, yeah, they had no confidence.
Yeah.
That Russ was gonna win that game. Provo Cougar fan says not enough NFL recovery time Sunday to Thursday. Totally agree. Justin Salas says, I've been saying this for years. I think we need to get rid of Thursday Night Football. More injuries, and the play is usually subpar. And they're crappy games. Look, with all due respect, the Chicago Bears are on Thursday Night Football next week. I'm not looking forward to it. Justin Fields isn't a good quarterback. Why would I look forward
And my question for Thursday night is, how much does the viewership suffer? Because they did huge numbers the first couple of weeks. How much does viewership suffer?
I think a lot. Mike Maple says it was the worst game I've seen since BYU Utah Ice Bowl.
Okay.
Wow. Renee Roca says, props to Broncos fans. I left this game in the second quarter. Boring AF. By the way, Renee Roca had a pumpkin pizza from Papa Murphy's yesterday.
Dude, let's go. Well, how was it? How
was the Jacko pizza? We're having ours tonight, obviously.
Yeah.
We order Papa Murphy's pizza every Friday night.
I didn't even think about that yet. That's got me hyped now.
Yeah, the Jacko pizza.
Yes.
The Jacko pizza.
Jacko.
Did you get Satan's giblets on it? Like, Renee, you got to spill the beans. Let's
Don't
go.
tell me you did.
Let's go. What's up with that? I think it, okay. M. Alvarez says, doing some hurricane cleanup tomorrow, then watching the BYU Notre Dame game. Go Cougs. Let's go. Appreciate you, M. Alvarez. Steve Barnhart says, Russell is just not the same as he was during the Legion of Boom years. My wife blames it on his wife changing him. Ooh.
This seems to be going around the league. I have to be honest.
It
I mean, this seems like a lot of these guys that are, in their 30s and are big-time quarterbacks, this seems to be happening. And I wonder if all this Tua stuff and all the concussion stuff that have come up this year has exacerbated that issue for these guys.
Yeah. She's mildly attractive, Sierra.
Yeah.
Ciara. Same thing.
I think is how you say it. But
I love that drop we used to play when Jake would play drops on the show. You guys don't know, that was years ago now.
Yeah, that's for the long time.
Where Jake used to play drops.
Yeah, I don't play drops anymore.
We had a Ciara drop where she was like, "Go Hawks."
Yeah, in bed after they were about to go to Pound Town,
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm just telling how I see
it. Jeff Johnson says, "Come on, Monty. Jimmy G is worse than Justin Fields." Hell no. I'll take Jimmy G on my team. I would. Renee Roca says, "My kid loved it. We love Papa Murphy's." Appreciate you, Renee Roca. Norga Koog says, "Amazing that a country like Norway, where you can play soccer outside 8 months of the year, can produce a player like Erling Haaland." We don't talk about Erling Haaland because he plays for that crappy city
that's
team.
offensive to bring him up.
Are you kidding me? Go Chelsea. What are you talking about? Anyway, Boyd Lake says, "Got to push back on that wifey so she stays in her lane like Tommy." Okay, so by the way,
yeah,
the latest rumor from I think one of the best celebrity gossip sites on the internet, RadarOnline.com. Radar says that Giselle is not satisfied in the marital relations department.
Right. Quote, the relationship has gone ice cold.
And that Tommy isn't kicking it between the uprights enough. And that he won't go deep.
He won't take a shot.
And he's not running any seam routes.
He's not pounding the A-gap.
Again, okay. High five myself again. Thanks, Jake. He's not pounding the A-gap.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we're going to get euphemisms for days on this. Do you buy it that Tommy's goalpost isn't up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, we all know that Tommy is like this vegan, drink a green shake guy, that's who he's been, So to me, it wouldn't at all be surprising if Tom Brady was like, "Nah, I can't pound the A-gap because I got to save my energy, or I got to do, whatever the hell it is."
But
I don't know.
They do have kids. They've got 3 kids, and they all need Jacko pizzas.
911, what's your emergency?
Something is in my house.
I'm sorry, say again?
I smell something delicious, and I don't know what it is.
Ma'am, can you describe it for me?
It smells like golden crust, freshly shredded cheese, and pepperoni.
Ma'am, we've traced the smell, and it's coming from inside your oven.
What do you mean?
It's a Papa Murphy's Jacko pizza, and it's just $10.
Ah, amazing.
Papa Murphy's.
Papa Murphy's.
Yes.
Use the promo code Monty25. Get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. Oh, God, here we go. Lopes fan Gabe says Brady's not hitting the tight end. Alex Chacon, he's not hitting that tight end.
Right.
Ed Wynn says A-gap greater than thigh gap. Okay, see what he does there.
Right. A-gap, thigh gap. We get it. Right.
Right. Kyle J says that was incredible. Boyd Lake says you have to be together to tango. If Giselle is anywhere near, she's getting attention, I am sure. Look, I think we all know that planting the seed in the marital garden can sometimes be tumultuous when married.
Right.
That you are not always. Marriage is challenging, man. I think we've talked about this on the show a lot. Mrs. Monty and I have talked about this.
Some shit happened.
Yeah, you're not always in love when you're married. You make that choice, and you're not always. voraciously looking to,
and just kind of scruff it and play with it when it's wet.
You're not always looking to take it to the house. You know what I'm saying? But it is one of those things where, listen, if you're Giselle, you're a Brazilian supermodel. Dwayne Boone says Tom Brady doesn't want to play nose tackle.
Right. See what he did there?
Nose tackle.
Right.
Ed Wynn says at least he won't be getting sacked. See, because they're not.
Wow.
See, this is why it's Friday. This is why we love this show. The Monty Show, presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. When you've been in a wreck, you've been in an accident, you get knocked off your motorcycle, did you just slip and fall at the grocery store? Well, that's not your fault. You need to be compensated for that, and you need somebody who's going to fight for you, because I guarantee you, anybody who's been in a car accident, you get that call. Hey, it's Joey D's Nuts from the insurance company.
Joey D's Nuts.
Hey, Joey. And he's like, hey, I got a check for you for $37. Let's go ahead. And by the way, sign right here. We'll hand you the check. Don't do it. Call the Advocates. UtahAdvocates.com. Chat with them for free online. There's never a consultation fee. There's never a retainer fee. You don't pay the Advocates until they win your case. Chat with them online for free right now at UtahAdvocates.com. Speaking of the Advocates, by the way, they have a big event this weekend.
That's right, T.
They do these cool things. And one of their attorneys is actually going to join us at 7:30 real quick to talk about it. We don't do a whole lot of like guest appearances and stuff.
Right, yeah.
But they have a cool little thing. Their winter car prep event is tomorrow, Saturday, October 8th, 10 to 2 at Victor's Tires in West Valley, 3958 West 35th South in West Valley. You can enter to win a set of tires from Victor's Tires, tickets, gift cards, an Echo Dot. It's
nice.
all at Victor's Tires tomorrow with the Advocates, 3958 West 3500 South, for their first winter car prep event. So this is one of the things we always tell you. We look for companies who are involved in the community.
Yeah.
And we look for companies that, really work with people. And I think the Advocates do that. And this winter car prep event's a perfect example. They're trying to prevent you from being in a bad, compromising situation when it snows. Because that first snow, traffic's always bananas. So make sure you join the Advocates tomorrow at Victor's Tires in West Valley City. Big weekend of football. It's Football Friday on the Monty Show, presented by Quack Car Wash. Big games. And again, I think the question of what's the bigger game, BYU versus Notre Dame or Utah versus UCLA, because I promise you, and I know that I have been on the DTR bandwagon.
You have, to your credit.
Which is not VD or some terrible disease. It's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback at UCLA.
Right.
I think he is rapidly ascending the ladder in the Pac-12. I think he is only second to Caleb Williams at USC as far as quarterbacks go in the Pac. I think DTR is having this season of his career, that he's only got one interception, and I think the fact that Bobo's a great receiver, but Charbonnet's a great running back. He doesn't have a dearth of weapons. He really is the weapon. He's the guy you got to account for at UCLA. I think Utah's going to have their hands full at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, 100%. I think that guys like Clark Phillips, your DBs in this game. They're going to have to ball out if Utah wants to win this game. The thing with DTR right now is that he obviously is really good at running. So this whole concept of having to keep contain on him and also essentially play man across the board and spy the quarterback, that's a difficult thing to do. And I think that, you can easily see a situation. And frankly, this is why DTR is special, because if you can get him in space against the linebacker in the open field, he should be able to beat that linebacker. So for Utah, with that being the case, I'm curious what Witt's going to do. But I will say this. I do think that Utah's defense is more than capable of doing their thing against DTR in that offense. I trust, like the same way that I have trust issues in big games for BYU is the same way that I really trust Witt's defense above all else in big games.
So we're going to piss a bunch of people off today.
Yes, we
are.
I
see how it is.
Yes, we are.
Look, Jake Bobo's a hell of a receiver. Casimir Allen's another great weapon for UCLA. I just look at DTR. I mean, the guy's got just about 1,500 yards of total offense this year, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's only been sacked, I think, 4 times. Like, UCLA is better than people give them credit for. But you're going up against an NFL-style defense. You're going up against a defense that, while you have missed Mo Diabate, he's supposed to be back this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what you're getting out of Lander Barton is just the beginning. It's just the beginning, with Lander Barton. Like, he's a stud. You look at Clark Phillips. You look at this entire secondary, this entire defense. This is an NFL defense. You're going to have probably half a dozen guys off this defense go to the league. You feel like this is a game that is a real danger game for Utah. And it's going to be a matter of big guys playing in big games. And I think this is where you define your career. I mean, if you're going to go to the Rose Bowl, and they have struggled to draw, there's no question about that. But I think we saw last Friday night, they had 50, 60,000 there. I think you also look at, that Utah fans travel well. You know that there is a good fan base of Utah fans in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
My guess is you're going to see 35, 45,000 fans at the Rose Bowl. It's not going to look empty the way it has. This is a big game. It's a national TV game. This is a game that Utah is favored in. It's only 3.5 points, which is a bit surprising. This feels like a dangerous game. If you are Utah, you need to come and knock some fools out. And I think if you're Utah, you have to put DTR back on his heels right out of the gate.
100%. You got to have pressure. You got to have discipline with your assignments. I mean, you just have to play a really high level of defense with guys who can run and throw. I mean, it's a different, strategy, obviously, when you have to account for a quarterback that can burn you on the ground. So to me, I just think that again, Utah's defense seemingly always has an answer. Utah's defense seemingly finds a way to keep their team in the game. And I know early in the season, missed tackles, struggles, they did not play well, but I think we've seen that bounce back. And I think when you do what they did to Oregon State, like, to me, I don't know, man. I guess I just have trust for them. I expect them to, and maybe that's the word, I expect them to perform. I expect them to do their damn job and put Cam in a position to win the game.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly how all that plays out. Like who performs and who doesn't. Boyd Lake says, half a dozen. Not so long ago, we were observing how much Utah missed Devin Lloyd. Well, I mean, I think if you look at their defense, I think there's no doubt that Cole Bishop is going to the league, right? There's
guys
one.
Are developing, yeah.
Kareem Reed's going to the league. That's 2. My guess is Lander Barton's going to the league. That's 3. I look at Clark Phillips, no doubt about it. That's 4 right there. And then I think as you go through the rest of this defense, I mean, what about Mo Diabate? I mean, he's going to have to play better. He's going to have to show a little more, but I think he gets a shot at the league. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the guys like Gabe Reed, the guys like Van Filliger is a guy that's going to get a shot in the NFL. Does he stick and stay? I don't know. He will get a shot in the NFL because of his build. You look at R.J. Hubert. There's no reason to think that R.J. Hubert doesn't get, as he consistently develops. I mean, you look at the guys that are contributing on this defense, and you look at the guys that are making plays. I mean, there are some absolute can't misses. Lander Barton and Cole Bishop, Clark Phillips. I mean, those guys are almost assuredly going to the NFL.
Right.
And it's just a matter of who else gets a shot. I mean, it is. But you also have to remember that you're probably looking offensively as well. Tavion Thomas, this is a big moment in time for Tavion Thomas as an NFL running back.
Right.
I mean, is this the game where Tavion Thomas finally gets back to, 75 yards and 2 touchdowns? Is this a game? Does he break 100 yards in this game?
He's 1,000-yard back last year. We all realize that, right? Like, this is a guy who's got talent and can perform, but seemingly has lost a grip on his job. And so what do you get? You get reps split between him and the two other guys, and they each get 6 carries, and they just do a little bit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this job is wide open for Tavion to go and get. He's just got to go and get it. And I think that you look around this offense, and Utah finds itself in a time offensively where you don't have the reliable option like you had in Britton Covey and Brant Keithy and like that combination. Now, Vele is growing. He is stepping up. I think his yards per catch are like up to 9 or 10 now or whatever the hell it is now. So, I mean, he's definitely growing and he's producing, but again, it's that sense of reliability and being able to say, okay, I know week in, week out, Tavion Thomas is our back. Devon Vele is our number 1. Dalton Kincaid's our guy at tight end. Like, knowing that these guys are going to perform every single week. That way, when UCLA does come around and they're having a nice season for once and they are 4-0, that you can say, okay, we know the guys we're going to go to, that they are going to get open and win their assignment. And right now, I think you're dealing with a little bit of that at Utah, where it's like, hey, we're splitting carries 3 ways. Devon Vele is still kind of stepping into his own. Brant Keithy goes down. Can Dalton Kincaid back that up, or what are we doing there? So that's what I'm saying. These games have the potential, both as a team and individually, to sort of springboard you to another level.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting just looking at Utah's defensive numbers. I mean, they give up less than a passing touchdown a game. They give up less than half a passing touchdown a game. I look at they're averaging almost, like two interceptions a game. Like, you look at that defense and you look at, their rush yards a game. Utah gives up 123 yards rushing per game, but they only give up 1 rushing touchdown a game. Like, their rush defense could be better. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Nord Coog says, surprised that UCLA is second against the run in the Pac-12. Utah has to run the ball well to win. Currently, rushing yards per game, UCLA's number 1. They give up about 80.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at who's number 1 against the pass? Utah's by far number 1 against the pass. Overall, total defense, I would, total defense, you're looking at UCLA is number 2 in total yards a game. Yeah, UCLA's defense is better than people give them credit for. There's no doubt about that. Provo Cougar fan says the Utah 2 game, UCLA USC, is daunting as BYU, Notre Dame, and Arkansas 2 games. Big-time football has arrived in the state of Utah.
Agreed.
Amen to that.
Agreed.
October is where guys move. This is moving time now. And if you look at UCLA and USC back-to-back, Notre Dame and Arkansas back-to-back, let's face it, though, BYU has had a meat grinder of a schedule. You look at the Baylors, the Oregons, you look at,
it's a good
now
schedule,
Notre
man.
Dame and Arkansas, your bye week in November. Like, this is absolutely a ball-breaking schedule. I think to split, you got to split these 2 games with Notre Dame and Arkansas. And you're probably, just by geography, you're probably better off against Arkansas. But you have a chance to win both these games. You truly, you have a chance to prove a point about who you are and what you are as a football team. Kendall Dean says, I was very impressed with UCLA's defense against Washington. I think everybody was. Let's see. Target Locke says, head down to Vegas this AM. Go Cougs. Drive safe, my man.
Let's go.
Looking forward to it. NYJS fan says, amazing if U of U and BYU win both of their next 2 games. It's possible, yes, but Arkansas and USC are going to be doozies. I wonder, is Utah the team that exposes USC?
Yeah, I think that I think that Utah, like, I have faith that Utah can really make Caleb Williams' life difficult. I think that, when you're playing, a Kyle Whittingham defense, again, they just have that organization. They have that discipline within the core fundamentals of the scheme that allow them to make your life tough as a quarterback. So I think this UCLA game is a great measuring stick, though. DTR, obviously, as we were just saying, is a hell of a quarterback in his own right. And if Utah comes out and dominates him and holds UCLA to, 20 points, let's say, that's going to be impressive. I think you can't ask for much more.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson is arguably the best quarterback in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
You're going to get him, and then the guy that most people say is the best quarterback in the Pac-12 is Caleb Williams. You get him next week.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to define Utah's season, right? I think this is, again, not to be redundant, this is a trap game for Utah. This is a very difficult game. I think you have got to win this game. You cannot look forward to USC. You just can't. I mean, all of your dreams and hopes for this season are in front of you. You just got to win the next 2 weeks, and you should win this conference.
Yes.
I don't see how you don't. I look at the rest of the games in the conference. I mean, this weekend as we get ready for a big weekend of football, I tell you, if you're putting your money down this weekend, look out in the Pac-12 because I think it is going to be very difficult to pick some of these games. Like I look at the USC game specifically. I don't know how much you guys pay attention to lines. USC is a 13-point home favorite against Washington State. That doesn't sound right to me. And again, I think USC's offense is one of the best in the country. But you look at Washington State has not been a walk in the park.
Right.
Washington State it took Oregon right to the wire. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is almost a slap in the face at Washington State. That's going to be a closer game. I don't know how you bet that game.
Yeah, I mean, that game has barn burner written all over it. USC is not a good defense to me. Obviously they're okay, but defense is not their strength, and Washington State can score the football. So to me, that's one of those games where I'm like, hey, all right, Lincoln, all right, Caleb Williams, time to get it going on offense. You're probably going to need 40 to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Let's get some of your thoughts in there. Yes, Boyd, thank you. He agrees with me. I see this as Utah's trap game this year. Yeah, absolutely. Provo Cougar fan says Utah will be back in the college football playoff if the Utes win the next 2 games. Very likely. Kyle J says Utah has good enough athletes at linebacker to run a QB spy if they need to. We're going to find out. Mo Diabate's got to step up now.
Yeah.
It's time. This is when your resume is written. It's time for Mo to step up. James Griffin says probably impossible, but would sure be cool if the stars somehow aligned that BYU and Utah played in a New Year's Six game. Probably impossible. I would agree with that. Probably impossible. Kyle J said Witt made it sound like Tavion could be back being the number 1 running back again this week. I don't know that you have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know that you have a choice. I mean, I know he's had issues off the field, both in his personal life and with discipline. We'll see. But I think they really need him. It's a big deal. Kyle G says, my biggest concern is the height difference between Bobo and Clark. I wish Clark was 6'2" so bad. Well,
yeah.
Jake Bobo's a hell of a wide receiver. He's a volleyball player playing football. I mean, I think he's 6'2", 6'3". Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a big dude.
That doesn't mean that you can't play defense on him. That doesn't mean that there aren't ways to beat guys like that.
No, I would agree with that. Kendall Dean says UCLA has a better defense than Utah. In a lot of statistics, they do. But you got to play when you go head to head. We'll find out Saturday afternoon. I mean, your primetime football 1:30 on Fox. I mean,
yes.
we're going to find out. Who's got the nuts to do it. I mean, and when you're watching that game, there is almost no doubt in my mind that you're going to have the smoker from Barbecue Pit Stop absolutely cranked up, rocking and rolling, and your neighbors are jealous, right? That's the best part of owning a smoker. When you crank up that smoker and you hit ignite, and that smoke starts puffing out that side, and your neighbors are like, "Ooh,
Bet you weren't expecting this one."
Do you smell what the rock is cooking? Anyway, I'll stop that. You should go to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com, because they have the best barbecue equipment in the business. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think I don't have to tell you that at this point. Traeger, Yoder, Big Green Egg, you name it, they've got it. But the best part about doing business with the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop is they're good dudes, man. They're guys that you want to talk to. They're guys you want to do business with. They're guys that, frankly, you want, when you're trying to do a brisket, or if you got all the boys coming over, you're not going to Vegas, right? Tickets were tough to get. Bit of an incident on the Strip this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have the boys over. We'll fire up the Traeger. Yeah, how do I make that brisket? Like, do I need to wrap it? Well, maybe you do. That's why you go to bbqpitstop.com. Chat with them online. They have a chat feature on their website where you can ask them questions. You can go into their stores in Layton, Logan, Lehigh, St. George, and Salt Lake City, and you could say, hey, man, I'm making a brisket for the boys this weekend. What's the best seasoning? Hey, by the way, I'm also going to toss some wings on as an appetizer. I heard Monty talk about this asado seasoning. Do you have that?
I'm for real.
How about some wing dust? You know, my wife's a vegetarian. She wants some dust for her, cauliflower nuggets. Do you have that? Yes. Obviously. They're good dudes. By the way, are you going to smoke a chicken or a turkey breast for Thanksgiving? Go to bbqpitstop.com. Find them online at any of their social channels. Clinton, who's in the Lehigh store, just put out a how-to video on YouTube about smoking a turkey breast for Thanksgiving. That's what you get at Barbecue Pit Stop. bbqpitstop.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. We appreciate that very much. A few more of your comments as we get you ready for a huge weekend of football. We'll make our locks coming up here in about 40 minutes at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this is by far. While I was doing the Giselle's Bunchton last night, not having sex as a married man, I was laying in bed last night thinking about score predictions.
So you weren't hitting the A gap?
Oh, I was hitting the A gap.
Oh, okay. I was just asking a question. I mean,
You know.
Right.
The answer is yes.
Yes. Anyway, no, the point is, listen, as I was looking at score predictions on this game, like the consensus spread, no pun intended, on the Utah UCLA game is 64.5. The over on the game is 64.5.
No.
With Utah at 3.5 points. First of all,
I don't like that.
First of all, do you guys care about spreads, points, lines? Do you guys care about like over under totals? Like, give me an idea of what you guys look at when you're looking at these games. 64.5 is a huge number. I mean, a huge number.
Yes.
In this game.
Yeah.
You're saying that each team essentially is going to score 32 points. I mean, is Utah's offense putting up 32 points? DTR and UCLA can do that.
Yeah, I don't have faith that Utah's offense is doing that, but I also don't have faith that DTR is doing that against Utah's defense. That's what I'm saying. Like, this feels like maybe one of these teams scratches into the low 30s, a 33, 31, 31, 28, 31, 24 type game, I don't know. I don't know. That feels lofty.
I don't see either one of these teams scoring 32 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is much lower than that. You have to take the under in this game. These two defenses are accomplished. They're talented.
Yeah.
I think you have to take the under on this game, but I have a number I like. We'll give that to you at 8 o'clock. We'll do locks at 8. I think the far more compelling question is, what are we going to get from BYU's defense tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Like
that, to me, 5:30 NBC national TV game, BYU in Las Vegas taking on Notre Dame. This is a big one. This is a defining type game.
Right.
And the line in this game actually is far different. Obviously, we all know we all know that Notre Dame is favored by 3.5 points here.
Right. Yeah.
But the number that is so interesting is 51 is the total.
Right.
51?
Yeah.
51.
Yeah, because I don't think neither of these teams are strong, from a put out a ton of points perspective. Like, Jaron Hall is special, but I think that what that line represents is they're basically saying that they don't think that BYU can get it going in this game. They're like, and I don't blame them. Like, I think, what happens if BYU comes out slow, they get down by 14 in the first quarter.
Wow.
And now you're chasing it the whole game.
Man, I will be so disappointed in BYU if you come out at Allegiant Stadium and you have a slow start. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I would be stunned.
Yeah, I would be stunned too. I would expect them to come out with a hot start, with a high flying, energetic, hot start. I would expect that.
That's on the players, man. And I continue to push this point. And we talked to Maximus about this. Max Tooley on Tuesday. We talked to him about slow starts. We talked to him about player accountability. I'm telling you now, we can sit here and we can have conversations about Tuiaki and Ed Lamb, and we can have conversations about Harvey Unga and all these coaches.
Yeah.
It is not their job to make sure that when the ball is kicked, their players are jacked up.
Yeah.
It is their responsibility. But if you are a player and you're strapping on that particular uniform in that stadium against that team, and you need a coach to plug you in, there's a problem with you. That is a you problem. That is not a Tuiaki drop 9 or 10 players in rush 1. That's not a Tuiaki problem.
Yeah.
That's a you problem. If you are a football player at BYU and you can't get jacked for Notre Dame at Allegiant Stadium, bro, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Why are you playing the game? This should be man versus man. This should be punch him in the face, get after it, let's go.
Yeah.
That's what this should be.
Mm-hmm.
This game should be hard fought. This should be a battle. And the thing about this kind of game, stylistically speaking, you are running your face into your opponent every single snap in this game.
Yeah.
Because you have to run the ball well to win, and they have to run the ball well to win. Period. That's what it's going to take. That's what this game is. There's going to be blood. There is going to be headaches. Your ears are going to be ringing, and somebody's going to win at the point of attack, and it better be BYU. Because if BYU loses this game, it's overte, friends.
Yes.
Everything you're going you're going to Jimmy's, feed and equipment bowl in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a real bowl. Anyway, my point is, everything you've wanted to accomplish as an independent is right here in front of you.
Yes.
As a one-loss team, you can be that team. You got to beat Notre Dame and Arkansas, but you can be that team.
Yeah.
But you can't come out the way you came out against Oregon.
Yeah,
What is your
I think
confidence
the last 3
level?
weeks? I mean, let's be honest about it. Like it's Utah State.
But I
it's
can
Wyoming,
almost understand. I can almost understand Wyoming.
Why?
Because you feel like you lost something. You left a part of yourself on the field at Autzen. You got smoked.
Yeah.
You come home and you would expect to take some of that frustration out, but I get it. Utah State, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. I felt like they came out too jacked against Oregon. They were dead on their feet against Wyoming and Utah State in the first half.
Yeah.
And then they were much more well-adjusted against Utah State and Wyoming in the second half.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think that I cut them slack on the Wyoming one. I
don't?
Think, no, I'm a little different on that. I think that, if you're any kind of competitor, if you're any kind of athlete, and you got your ass handed to you the way you did at Autzen, like I think that you got to be better than that. You like that next game, someone's getting punched in the face. Like that should be the vibe. And you get it. It's BYU. Hey, we got to be nice.
And by the way, Wyoming is incredibly physical up front. And in the second half, I think you stopped this rotation garbage.
Yeah.
And you showed who you were. And that's the other thing. Let's just have a real honest conversation about this BYU offensive line.
Yeah.
Have they played well enough? They have not. But it has been Barrington and Freeland and Pay that have been the issue. They were certainly the issue last week against Utah State, because I'm telling you now, Harris LaChance and Suamataia were not. Kingsley Suamataia was not an issue. Those two guys did their jobs. It's this desire, and I understand you got to develop guys. I understand you got to play more guys, but we need to stop playing this game where we're trying to get, okay, little Jimmy's worked hard in practice. Let's give him a few reps at right tackle. No. We're not rotating guys. I want 5 guys. Especially when we're struggling to run the football, I want 5 guys that I believe in that can run the football, because that's what you need. You need chemistry to run the football. You need guys like, it's going to be Christopher Brooks. If Miles Davis, and from what I understand, he is very questionable to play this game.
Yeah. So
if Miles Davis is questionable to play this game, if it's going to be Christopher Brooks, that's a guy that needs to slam it up in the gap, and you need good, consistent, sound offensive line play to get that done.
Yeah, you got to have momentum early in this game. You can't have, the slow start stuff can't happen.
No, and I think that I would be stunned. I would be stunned if BYU came out flat. I would almost rather have BYU come out way over the top. I honest to God, I would.
Yeah.
Like and the thing is, like Utah, you don't have to worry about this.
Right.
Utah, you don't worry about Utah's level of want to or awareness, or you don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You worry about this at BYU, and I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not a coaching thing, though. This is not a coaching thing. The Monty Show presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. I tell you every single day, the Advocates are the best injury attorneys in the business. And listen, man, when somebody's driving their car, and we talk about it all the time in our non-sports segments about my pet peeve is that people drive distracted. I can't stand that. Like, hey, man, Bluetooth is in every single car. So that guy swerves and hits you. That's not your fault. You didn't deserve the damage on your car. So please don't have your insurance guy be like, okay, here's a check for $37. Good job on the fender fixer. No, my friends. You're gonna get online, UtahAdvocates.com. You're gonna chat with them. They're gonna fight for you. That's why they call themselves the Advocates, because they fight for you. And the best part is there's no consultation fees or huge retainers. You don't pay the Advocates until they win your case. Check them out online at UtahAdvocates.com. And hey, they have a great event coming up tomorrow at Victor's Tires in West Valley. Let's get Josh from the Advocates on the show. Josh, howdy, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me today.
Hey, so, we talk about you guys on a daily basis. This is really cool that you guys are doing this, because one of the things we believe in is community. Why are you guys doing this event? Because this is certainly not something I think that people would equate with most law firms.
You know what? And that's a good point, Tim. We want to give back to the community, and that's why we're doing it. This time of year, we're getting ready for our first snowstorm, right? And I was listening to your show earlier today. Seems like that first snowstorm, sometimes we forget how to drive, and there's lots of things that go on. But tomorrow, we just want to make sure that people are ready, right? So we're going to be checking the tread on tires. We're going to be checking tire pressure. And then there's going to be lots of giveaways as well. So it should be a pretty fun event.
Yeah, including sets of tires. I know that there's going to be some tickets, gift cards. It's going to be great. Join the Advocates at Victor's Tires, 3958 West 3500 South, West Valley. They're going to be at Victor's from 10 to 2. So, while I have you here, obviously, let's talk about the Advocates, because, again, we talk about you guys every day. You guys are our presenting sponsor on this show. What separates the Advocates from... And it's a lot. I don't have to tell you this, Josh. There are so many, hey, call us, you got hurt. Like, there's so many injury attorneys. Why am I choosing the Advocates and UtahAdvocates.com over everybody else?
You know what? Sometimes injury is a little bit gimmicky, right? Interact, get a check. And there's just lots of different things that I think it's almost stigmatized. At the Advocates, we are exactly what our name implies. We are your advocate. We're going to do everything to help you out in your time of need. There have been times in my career where I've had to be there for a family that's lost a loved one, right? And it's not just simply, oh, hey, let's try to get you the most money possible. It's, hey, we want to be there for you. And we want to go through your case with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that we're ready so that when the defense is trying to bring their side in their case, we know exactly how to get around it and get you the best outcome. But not only that, we want to be there for the community. We want to be there for our clients.
Yeah, and I think the hardest part is when you get in a car accident or you guys do, obviously you work with motorcycles. I mean, you work with, trips, falls, injuries, work injuries, all that stuff. Like, it's a really difficult time. You guys a lot of times deal with people on some of their worst days. And I think we become so accustomed to, I got in an accident, let my insurance company handle that. Why is it a mistake to let your insurance company, quote unquote, represent you? Why do you want to call the Advocates instead of your insurance company?
If you think about it, your insurance company, they have thousands of attorneys, right? And what do they want to do? They want to save as much money as they possibly can. And so here at the Advocates, we don't want to get what's unfair. We don't want to get above and beyond. We want to get what's fair, what's just, right? And so it evens the playing field when you have an advocate. We go up against the insurance companies who have thousands of attorneys, and now you're on the same playing field, right? And so it's always a good idea to retain counsel. Not only that, but after an accident, you're trying to get better. You're worried about your healing. And you don't want to have to worry about all the paperwork and, all the phone calls with adjusters, et cetera. Let us worry about that.
Yeah, and I think that's something we don't think about is the fact that, hey, yeah, we got in an accident, bummer, I don't have my car or I'm injured, but you also don't have income. You're probably missing work. You got to pay for things out of pocket. Like, you guys do a really good job in helping people like defer medical bills, and you guys don't have huge consultation fees or retainers. Like, I think it says a lot about you guys that you know, if you don't pay until you guys win the case. Like, I think that says a lot about your confidence and your ability to represent people.
For sure. No, for sure. And I actually used to represent a big creditor, right? And so I know what it's like when people are coming after you for medical debt and different things. And so we come in, just like you said, Tim, we make sure that, you know, we'll defer those medical bills until your case is over. You're not getting sent to collections, things like that. So it's always a good idea to get an advocate.
Well, hey, Josh, we appreciate you hopping on the show again tomorrow. Join the advocates at Victor's Tires, 3958 West 35th South in West Valley City. They're going to have, you can win a free set of tires, but mainly what this is about is making sure that your car's ready for that first snowfall. Josh, I did say it, I'll say it again. The worst day for driving in this town is when it first snows. And the funny thing is, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's October. Like, that first snowfall, you're going to wake up one day and the ground's going to be white. So You guys are going to get people ready for that.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. And yeah, we are going to get ready for that. That's the purpose of tomorrow's event. Hey, I got to say, I love your guys' show. It's always, you know, I've been listening to sports radio for a long time. I actually, you know, played some college football in my day, and you guys are the very best of the best. So,
yep. Let me guess. You were like a speedster. You were the guy like running running the seam route, catching the bombs, right?
That's right. Yep. I played the H or the slot back. Yep. And
hey!
I played Snow College. Like, I can't brag too much, but Snow's a great junior college. And we had some great success my year.
Guy, do you know how many people don't play football? Like, it is, Snow College is a great college, man. Yep. Like, it's a great program. Are you do you have a pro team? What's your fandom? Where do you line up?
You know what? I like watching players, right? So I've loved watching Britton Covey return punts this year. Obviously, I'm a BYU fan. I'm sorry. Half of your segment's going to be upset with that. But I love watching Zach Wilson, Taysom Hill. And then, I'm more of a player guy. Yeah.
Oh, well, Taysom's a great story. I mean, that's a guy that could be working on Wall Street right now if he wanted to. But he takes that beating in the NFL. Well, hey, I appreciate you hopping on. Let's do it again soon, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, can't wait to be on again. Take care.
There you go. Josh from the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. I'm telling you guys, they're the best in the business. And they're like, the thing that I implore you to consider is, like Josh said, like, your insurance company, yes, they are on your side to a certain extent, but they have thousands of attorneys, man. Like, you are quite literally on your own. That's why you call the Advocates. They're going to fight for you guys. And he went to Snow College. You got to love that.
Yes.
I love local. We tell you every day.
100%.
We partner with local businesses. I've known Matt Driggs for 10 years. Back at 1320 K-Fan.
The sports leader.
Thank you. I'm telling you, the guys at the Advocates are phenomenal. So check them out online, UtahAdvocates.com. Let's get back into it here on the show. Obviously, here at 7:38. We're getting you ready for two big games this weekend. Coming up in 12 minutes, it'll be Football at 50. We got to talk about Russell Wilson and Football at 50 because I just don't know where he's gone.
It's embarrassing.
Dude. And I think the question we need to cover at Football at 50 is, too, again, another concussion on Thursday night.
Yeah.
B, is it Russell Wilson or the Broncos? And C,
it's garbage.
Can you not fix the volume on Amazon? Can on Prime Video, can just turn the knob a little bit, yo?
Yes.
Like, coming out of halftime, they were doing an interview.
It's like when you turn on the infomercial, or an infomercial comes on and it's like super loud or super quiet. Like, you turn that on and it's like, yeah, we're really quiet. We got to turn this thing up like 20 notches.
Yep. M. Morris with this is a really pertinent question about BYU. Who's kicking field goals in Vegas? Because Jake Oldroyd's a real question. Like, how it's hard for me to even say that out loud. Like, Jake Oldroyd is a real question for this team.
Yeah. When you have a reliable kicker, it's the best thing. When you have an unreliable kicker, it's the worst thing for your program because you don't know who's stepping up behind him.
Yeah, totally agree. Tom Basilius, good morning. Over under 50.5 for Notre Dame, BYU. So 21-28 is probably what it'll be. Ooh, sportsbooks are time travelers. Well, I think we all realize this too, by the way. Vegas is very rarely way off on a line.
Right.
Very rarely. If you pay attention, and people are like, what do you mean? Like 37, well, and they're favored by 6? And like, what do you know? They'll kick a field goal and win the game by like 7. Or they'll score a late touch. Like, it's crazy.
It is if I say it is.
You know, those backdoor covers. And
yes,
Vegas is very rarely wrong because they only set lines to make people bet.
Yeah.
They set those point spreads. Hey, you know, Notre Dame's a 3.5-point favorite. Well, okay, are they going to win by more than a field goal? Okay. Are they not going to cover? Are they going to?
No,
is BYU
no,
gonna,
no.
Like, it makes you think in your head. Well, why is it 6.5 points? What do you mean 7.5 points? 3.5? They're trying to get you to bet, and they're very good at it. And most times they're within a point or two. It's crazy how often they are right. How often they are right. Tom says, better be going above and beyond. I don't want to stop at policy limits. I want to take a house. Let's go. Yeah. NY Jazz fan says, this guy seems like a good dude. I'm telling you.
They are good people, man. I'm telling you.
The Advocates, they're good people to do business with. And he played at Snow College.
For real.
I've got that one already. Hullabilly says, Monty Show is easily the best talk show in Utah. Nobody comes close. Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate that, man. Thank
Appreciate
you.
that very much. Giggity says, this show is better than any show in Arizona as well. Thank you.
Well, that's why we won the, that's why we have this thing on the wall over here that says Best of Phoenix. So, appreciate
Move
you,
my
Giggity.
large cranium out of the way.
Right, yeah.
Jazz fan says, I agree, but it may be the best NBA content nationwide. Oh, wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tom says, I love that this show is on YouTube. Quality, easy to find. Even the commercials are better than radio. Really glad I found the show. Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate
wow,
that,
you guys
Tom.
are killing it. Appreciate that. Jesse P says, Broncos not kicking field goals to go up by 6 is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
How are we in the national football? John Harbaugh last week.
Yeah, I mean, field goal kicking has always been one of those things that's always always up in the air. Should I kick the field goal and take the point? Should I risk it? And I do have to agree, even with the John Harbaugh thing last week, I agree with what Lamar said after the game. Hey, if we had executed and scored the touchdown, you wouldn't be asking me this question, right? Well, yeah, that is true. But percentages and Stat Guy wants to tell you should do X, Y, and Z. So I think it's, it's a high risk, high reward thing. But last night's game, my biggest takeaway from last night's game, all kicking and, X's and O's aside.
All kicking aside.
Dude, that was a
7 field
complete
goals.
waste of an NFL fan's time. And I'm telling you, what the numbers usually I think come out on Tuesday. So next week we'll have the numbers on this game. I would not be surprised if they struggled for viewership in this game. Wouldn't be surprised.
Not at all. Not at all. And it'll be, I don't know, man. This field goal kicking, go for it on 4th down trend in football is not a good thing. I think you're seeing a lot of mistakes that are being made. You're seeing a lot of things that, you look at, and I just go back to John Harbaugh last weekend, not kicking the field goal, going for it on 4th down, huge mistake.
Yeah.
You take the points. You take it. I get it. Everybody wants to go on 4th down. But you don't have a quarterback that can stand in the pocket and deliver the football. In key situations, right? Like, you don't have that. Why are you playing that now? You gotta kick the field goal. But I look at Kalani Sitake with Jake Oldroyd. I'm going for it on 4th down because I don't have confidence in my kicker.
Yeah.
But how do you build confidence in your kicker besides kicking it?
Keep letting him miss kicks.
I don't know, man. It's a real conundrum. I am a more aggressive play caller. 9 times out of 10, if I'm inside the opponent 40-yard line, I'm going for it on 4th down. Because I think that the difference, and again, you got to remember, you got to add 17 yards to field goals, right? So if you're at the 30, that's now a 47-yard field goal, right? Because the end zone's 10 yards. And then 7 yards to set the kick up for the hold, right? So you're adding 17 yards. So if you're at the 40, that's a 57-yard field goal now. How many kickers, especially in college, how many kickers can consistently make a 57-yard field goal?
Yeah, not many, if any.
Not many. So we're looking at situations where in college, I get it. In the NFL, dude, you got to take the points when you can get the points. It's awfully difficult to win games in this league. And overtime is such a crapshoot anymore. Take the points.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal. Anyway.
Okay.
I feel like I almost let my soul out there.
Yeah.
So that I could feel a little better about,
Well, good.
things.
Good.
Alex Chacon says, I love that Jake was bullied into bringing the no drop bag.
Yeah, you guys were ruthless with it. Y'all were ruthless with it. You know what I mean?
Well, that and then with all due respect, those like the Sopranos
With all
drops.
due respect.
Yeah, the Sopranos
respect.
drops.
With all due respect.
That's right, T.
That's right, T.
Those drops are amazing. That's the best show in the history of TV.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that yes is very sexy.
You like it?
Yes.
By the way, and I know we got to get to football 50 here in a minute. Like I am concerned that Lisa Wilson is going to take out a restraining order on me. Because I have tried and tried and tried. You guys need to find Lisa Wilson on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you need to get her to come on this show.
I want it.
Because I have tried. I have tried and tried and tried.
Right.
And she just won't do it.
Yeah.
I have asked repeatedly, and she just won't do it.
We clear
like
on that?
and she saw it. Look, it says seen.
10 minutes ago. And you sent a gift to it as well.
I did. I sent her a gift that said, come on, you have to come on our show. It's 10 minutes on your phone. Good times only. She didn't answer. Life according the number 2, Lisa. You got to get her on the show.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we bully Jake into playing drops.
That's right, T.
Bully her into coming on the show. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Having her on the show would be amazing.
Oh, it would be totally incredible. She doesn't watch our show. I mean, again,
No,
we're
she
just
has
a
no
little
idea.
YouTube show here.
We're just the hacks on YouTube.
We do the show in a basement, and we're terrible, and, we get it. It's fine.
Spence Checkett says we're the hacks on YouTube.
How about that?
No, hey, man, we're okay. Kenai Johnson says the Monty Show should take over for the Jazz. It would be the best way to get fans involved this year.
Well,
we're trying. Please play the Papa Murphy's commercial. The amazing scream and the whisper is its own soundtrack.
I know.
See, I don't disagree with that at all.
I haven't had a chance to cut that up yet. Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. That'll be in about 10 minutes. We're going to play that commercial because we have Football 50 coming up on the show. But the most amazing commercial we play every day is TryDayTrading.com.
Obviously.
Because that now he's our guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He's our guy.
Our guy, Alema.
Alema Harrington.
Alema Harrington here. I've been in the broadcast business going on 30 years now. And after that amount of time, you start to be able to pick some winners. I want to share a winner that I'm aware of with you, and that is my guys at Tri-Day Trading. They're going to teach you how to trade, and then they're going to let you trade using their money and then split the profits with you. That's a pretty winning deal. If you want to register for a free webinar, all you have to do is go to trydaytrading.com/Monty. So for more information, it's trydaytrading.com/Monty. We'll see you there.
There you go. See what I mean?
Alema Harrington telling you to get to trydaytrading.com/Monty, telling you get off the side wheel, side hustle, hamster wheel thing where you're trying all these different side hustles and you're trying this job and you're working 3 jobs. Guys, get to trydaytrading.com/Monty and make the money that you and your family deserve. You look at the listeners in this audience, Arlington Bears. Arlington Bears is a phenomenal entrepreneur and a guy that has worked hard to build the life that he and his family wanted. And he is a great example of what hard work and believing in yourself does. And I can only tell you it's what we believe in. It's what our lives are founded on, that you need to work for yourselves. And yeah, is it scary? Absolutely it is. But when you go to guys at trydaytrading.com/Monty, the webinar is free. So just go watch it. And then make a decision. The thing about Tri-Day Trading is you're trying day trading, and you're going to try it on their money, not yours. But I'm telling you, day trading is real and legit to the point where there are now tax programs set up to help you offset your gains, because there are guys, and it's becoming more and more routine or regular, that there are guys making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars day trading.
Yeah.
To the point where if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. Where there are now tax strategies specifically aimed at saving day traders on their tax liability.
Yeah.
And it's not like Jimmy on Wall Street we're talking about. We're talking about Kevin on Main Street, guys in Lehigh, Provo, Woods Cross, one of our great listeners in Woods Cross, is doing Tri-Day trading. Like, you guys can do it. You can achieve the things that you've always dreamed about, but you got to take that first step. Our first step at tridaytrading.com/Monty is free. You just register, watch the webinar, and make a decision at tridaytrading.com/Monty. 10 to the hour, every hour, Mrs. Monty shows up wearing Fire Jordans this morning. 10 to the hour, every hour, we're bringing you football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Let's get into Russell Wilson, because I don't know what that was last night. And it is incredible to me, the precipitous, swift decline of Russell Wilson. And again, Jake, I'm more on the side that this is the Denver Broncos. Their coach is going to get whacked. I don't know that he makes it this season. The ownership didn't hire him. The ownership didn't trade for Russell Wilson. My guess is that he's going to get, the coach of this team is going to get whacked, and I think it's going to happen right at the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think that, I'm not going to sit here and say that Russ has no blame in this thing. I think that he's, obviously he's better than what he's showing. I think the issue here is that Russell Wilson's never, or hasn't, I shouldn't say never, but hasn't had to learn a new scheme in how long? I mean, he played the same scheme in Seattle for a decade, and now he's come to a new team with new players and new skill sets and new challenges. And it's difficult, and I think that Russell Wilson also is trying to earn the trust of his teammates, which he's obviously failing at. And I think we can't undervalue that, So to me, they should fire their head coach. Yeah, they should revamp the organization. When you do that, I don't know, because to me, it's like, hey, every week that goes by and you're playing 12-9 games or you're embarrassing yourself repeatedly, it's just, you're just delaying the inevitable. So to me, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy got fired by week 10.
But here's the question. On Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach of the Broncos, is it Aaron Rodgers or is it the Packers?
Wow.
He was the offensive coordinator the last 2 years in Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers had a career year. So is it Aaron Rodgers or is it Nathaniel Hackett? Is it Russell Wilson or is it Nathaniel Hackett? My guess is Aaron Rodgers doesn't really give a damn what his coach is telling him to do. He's going to do what he wants. And we've seen that they've turned the offense over to him. My guess is that Russell Wilson's not that guy, pal. Yeah. And he needs a head coach and an offensive coordinator that can construct a system for him. And he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing him really struggle with that. In Seattle, they catered to Russ. They built an offense around him, and it all worked really well. This offense in Denver is not built around him. Garrett Bowles broke his leg last night. That's his left tackle. It's not getting better. They're not improving. It's getting worse. And now the question is, who's going to run the rock for them, and who's going to protect Russell Wilson? And I think you could be right. Nathaniel Hackett could very well get whacked before week 10. I don't know. My guess is they'll keep him there until the end of the season. But this could be one of the ugliest seasons in the history of Denver Broncos football. And the Walton family now owns the club. They paid a record $4 billion for it. And this is the best you can do. My guess is they're going to put their hands all over this team this summer, and Nathaniel Hackett won't be there. But we'll see. Huge weekend of football in the NFL, but we got to talk about concussions again, and I hate doing it, but I think you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because last night, concussion on the field, and watch him right here getting up, and he can't stand up. Those are Denver. It's a back injury, like Tua, right?
Yeah.
No, that was a concussion. And the scary thing is, again, there is no way to know what that is. It's not a situation where you can have, the power go out on your monitor and Mrs. Monty comes over and pushes the power cable in for you. But the point is,
Jesus,
football at 50, nightmare time. But there's just no way to, I don't know, what's the right way to say this, Jake? Like, there's no way to calculate how to fix these concussions, because this was not even some, and yet he can't get up and walk away from it.
Yeah, and I think, as we are, as humans, we have the ability to develop helmet technology. We have the ability to create something that can I'm not going to say can just erase concussions, but you can't tell me we can't drastically reduce brain injuries in the sport. I just don't buy it. There's got to be a way to get around it.
All right, let's get your thoughts on this. Let's see. Brent Burnett says Seattle was way better. Geoff Johnson says, wait,
Geoff.
Can we call him Jeff again?
Yeah, you can call him Jeff again.
Okay.
All right, you can call him Jeff again.
Jeff Johnson says Russell Wilson's problem are all mental. He is in a funk and lacking confidence, and those things spread like wildfire to a team. I agree with that. M. Morris says Jaron is going to love Seattle. Hey, Geno Smith is actually playing good for the Seahawks.
He's playing good.
By the way, Jaron's going to love the Chicago Bears because I'm telling you right now, the Chicago Bears, we're drafting another quarterback this spring.
Well, just book it. You draft one every year.
Yeah. Let's see. Josh Leverett says Sherm last night was lights out on the broadcast. Yeah, I actually agree. Richard Sherman, even though he's a mental, the guy is crazy. He's really good as an analyst.
Yeah.
He's real, and his podcast is actually really good. To be fair says, I heard on another show that the Denver Broncos head coach loves to punt David Shaw style. He's very conservative. Very, very conservative. M. Morris says, are mid-level guys going to start faking for big paydays? Well, that's something that we've talked to a lot of people about that guys will say, oh, yeah, I have a concussion, man, I can't go. Like if they're going to get caught or if they're going to get, whatever, they'll be like, oh, I have a concussion. I don't know. Yeah. That was not faking last night.
No,
if you watch that video.
Dude, he was tripping, man. Because of the way that hit looks, it begs the question, was there another hit that flew under the radar? Was there...
There's a common sense in that, yes.
Like, hey, if that basic hit dropped you, what happened before that to make it so that was possible?
It's scary. It really is scary. Alex Chacon says, I wouldn't be opposed to Jaron falling to my Raiders. Derek Carr's plenty of a quarterback. He is. Boyd Lake says, any quick changes of direction can result in concussions and cause damage to the brain. They will never be eliminated entirely. That's not to say equipment can't be improved. Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's hard to eliminate it completely, but you just can't tell me we can't limit it a bit,
No, not at all. But you should not limit the Jacko Pizza.
911, what's your emergency?
Something is in my house.
I'm sorry, say again?
I smell something delicious and I don't know what it is.
Ma'am, can you describe it for me?
It smells like golden crust, freshly shredded cheese, and pepperoni.
Ma'am, we've traced the smell, and it's coming from inside your oven.
What do you mean?
It's a Papa Murphy's Jacko Pizza, and it's just $10.
Ah, amazing.
Papa Murphy's.
There you go, the Jacko Pizza from Papa Murphy's Pizza. Papa Murphy's presents football at 50-10 of the hour. Every hour, make sure you use the promo code Monty25. We're doing it tonight. We're getting the Jacko Pizza. I'm telling you, though, crust, barbecue sauce, cheese, bunch of veggies on it. It's going to be amazing. Again, don't forget, it's Veg-October. Veg-tober. What are we? Veg-tober.
Okay.
We're calling it Veg-tober. Okay. We're doing Veg-tober, so we're veggie on that pizza night with barbecue sauce. I'll put a picture up of it. I'm telling you, man, the Jacko Pizza is legit. Use the promo code Monty25 to save yourself 25% off of your order of $25 or more on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. All right, auction open.
Right, here we go. So sneaker talk on the show
I'm
because
all
it is
in.
8 o'clock.
And there is, by the way, there is a shoe today.
Right.
That has a
fanny pack.
A fanny pack on it. And I'm all about it. You're
buying a shoe with a fanny pack
on it. Well, no, I'm probably not buying it because I am in line, by the way, and I'm going to lose the auction. Yeah, because people don't like you, Mrs. Monty. Everybody knows that you're just... Well, and by the way, Mrs. Monty never loses shoe draws, which pisses me off, so good. Don't let her in. Thank you, Nike. Exclude that woman.
Don't let her in.
Mrs. Monty, but by the way, this needs to be said. She wins auctions for me as well.
Right.
On a pretty regular basis. I don't know if it's just that she's smoking hot. I don't know if it's just that she's amazing.
Right.
But she does win me shoe auctions regularly.
Right.
So
yeah,
we're in line on the neutral olive and light steel gray.
The neutral olive on BYU.
I'm all about it. And I don't know if you guys can see the shoe on the, but can you guys see that, I'll even try
Go ahead
to.
and zoom.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I can do. Let me see if I can do a screen.
And
grab.
Mrs. Monty's like, yeah, do you know what a computer is, idiot?
Yeah, it's his first time using the
Yeah,
equipment
first
today,
time.
people. So, give him a minute.
Cut him
He's
some
totally
slack.
new.
Yeah.
First day on the job, so
Complete casual.
we gotta work on this one. But
Are you guys done?
What?
Are you guys done? Why are you hurting my feelings? Why are you hurting my feelings?
What?
Because right now I'm feeling attacked.
Don't be rude.
Right now, I am feeling attacked. Let's see. Where is is it there? No, it's not there. Is it
Casual,
there? There it is.
Casual.
All right. I'm not casual. It's just unnamed. Boy, it's just going to be break Monty's balls.
Tough crowd today.
Is it pick on fat ass day? Is that what this is?
I
you
never
didn't actually
called
put any
you
clothes
fat.
on. You just came in pajamas today. So
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be like that. There you go.
Jeez.
That's the shoe I am trying to win in the shoe auction.
So what, do you think you could fit car keys in that fanny pack?
Jake?
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, baby! Who's the winner now? Huh?
Whoop whoop.
Woo!
Whoop,
Big
whoop.
Daddy.
I'm in line.
Good guy when you
Which is not
and
a good
stuff.
sign.
Got him.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
I lift. Well, I used to work out, but I don't. And yeah, we're matching.
We're
Jake,
gonna
did you try and
match.
get him? No. Jake's
With
like,
our
I'm broke, dude.
ridiculous
I'm broke.
fanny packs
Jake's
on
like,
our
hell
feet.
no.
Can't do it.
There's
Hell.
like
Y'all feel
4
me?
pockets on these things.
I'm excited. Hey,
I've bought too many shoes
I
recently.
hope they're more functional than the Hawaii. Remember, I
The Dunk
made
High.
the really horrible decision to buy the Hawaii Dunks.
Okay, you got to get that shoe off the screen now.
I
bud.
love it.
And,
I love it. Why do I have to
They
take it
have
off
a
the screen?
pocket on them.
Yeah.
And it's totally useless.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't put anything in that pocket.
Look, I love that shoe. I am totally stoked about this. Let's see. Alex Chacon says, Jesus, those are ugly.
Wow.
You know what they are? They're like a
Jesus.
Franken shoe, but I can't resist.
Wow.
They're shiny.
Wow.
They're like a
What
shiny
are other people
shoe.
saying?
Teddy Wayman says that shoe looks like it's from Germany.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, maybe.
Ken Williams says Mrs. Monty is the star of the show, but she likes green peppers.
And they
Problem.
are delicious.
Look here, man.
Hullabilly says that looks like a place to stash your weed. This shoe is not that
It
bad.
is. You
No,
know
it's
what?
not.
When
Look
you
at it.
asked me last night, what did you ask if you could put in that shoe?
I can't remember.
Anyways, and I replied and I said you could put your weed in that shoe.
You did say that. She did say that. I can't remember what I asked you.
You have
Look at that
never,
shoe's
ever
amazing.
smoked weed, but
I
I'm
have
just
not
saying
one time.
that
That
if
is
someone
true.
had weed, they could put it in the back of that shoe.
That is very true. I have never smoked weed, not one time in my entire life.
Right.
I have never smoked weed.
Uh-huh.
But, you know,
I guess
I feel special. I'm coming on early today.
I've heard that about you.
Hi.
I've heard that
babe.
about you.
God.
I have. What? There she is.
Oh, hi.
Hey, baby. There you go,
Straighten
Mrs.
hair
Monty.
today.
Mrs. Monty on the show. But if the shoe's so ugly, if this shoe is
Right.
so
I don't
ugly,
think it's ugly.
I don't think it's ugly
no, it's
at
not
all.
ugly.
If it's so
the
ugly,
fanny
why
pack
did
weirds
you?
me out. The fanny pack portion is.
It's
you know.
weird. I get it.
Yeah.
But then
I'm
why did you
totally
buy
with
it?
you.
Then why'd you get it? Huh?
Because I'm intrigued, and if I get it and I don't like it, I can take it to the Nike store down the street at the Mountain View Village thing and return it. Boom. I'm not married to it forever.
That's right, T.
Yeah, you're married to me forever, whether you
I
want to
am.
be or not. By the
I
way,
am.
update on Tom Brady you might find interesting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Here on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com.
Yeah.
Giselle Bundchen
Yes.
says that she's not being pleased sexually in the marriage, and that has led to a distance between the two.
How was this found out? Where is this we're being
Sources.
reported from?
But
Sources.
this is from RadarOnline.com, which is by far the best gossip site in Hollywood.
Right.
Long history. Why are you looking like that?
She doesn't
Okay,
believe
go
you.
ahead.
RadarOnline.com is reporting that Giselle Bundchen does not feel satisfied with her with her marital fornication.
I want more.
And the planting of seed in the marital garden.
Right.
And that Tommy hasn't been throwing the seam route
Right.
and kicking the ball through the uprights enough at the house.
Right.
So she feels like she needed to move on because she felt a distance. And you're starting to get now the total package, which she's not getting in marriage. But you're starting now.
But I'm sure with the stress of his career and her career, and that makes you less likely to be, parking the car in the garage and things. But, I'm sure there's probably lots of reasons why.
But this is why. My point is that it happens in marriages. Anybody that's married knows you're not having sex 10 times a week.
No, but I will with your wife.
It's probably 10 times a year. The point is, but you're not always amorous. You're not always in love. You're not always marriage is work, dude.
And stress from starting a business and trying to do things. There's lots of things that can add into work, career stress, kid stress, all those things. So I think that people need to be more realistic about it, and I don't find it surprising at all that they're not.
So wait, are we ready to say that it's not all Tom's fault? Or is
no,
it all
Mrs.
Tom's
Monty.
fault?
Mrs. Monty will never say that.
No, it's always two to tango, kids. It's never a one side. Well, okay, I can't say never. I'm sure there are some relationships where there's one horrible person like Donald Trump that is the majority of the issue there.
Why?
But
why?
Aside from that,
Why?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
One day.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Now you've done it. Now you've done it.
It
could be Puerto Rican.
But
now you've done it.
Most times it is both partners. Most time there are many factors. But I don't think it's fair for everybody to be like, oh, it's Giselle. It's her. She's the one who's breaking it up. No, I would say that if they both wanted to be together, they'd be together. They'd find a way to compromise.
So I think the quote she used, Jake, what didn't she say? The marriage is cold.
Yeah, it's gone. She said the marriage has gone ice cold. That's the quote.
It doesn't surprise me with the stress of her wanting him to retire, him not wanting to retire. That's normal.
I don't disagree that it's normal. You ebb and flow. I mean, you and I, we've talked about this many times. You're just not head over heels in love on a daily basis when you're married. But is this the culmination? Okay, Tom wouldn't retire. Their sex life is on the outs right now.
Yeah.
They have kids. They've got stress. She's got a career. He's got a career. This makes perfect sense. These are two people in my mind now. It sounds like they've just grown apart. And they've been together, 13 years? I don't think this is that abnormal. But now we find out how much they want to be together. Because reports earlier in the week said that Jizzy and Tommy had hired divorce attorneys. So you're pretty far down the line, right? I mean, there's probably no coming back from that.
Once you sign up with that attorney, that's a little tough.
Well, because now you've paid money not to be together. I think that's what this says.
Out, right?
Oh yeah, they have not been living together for forever.
That's pretty far down the line.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeff Johnson says it's not all Tom's fault. I'm ready to say it.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, it's never all anyone's fault.
Oh my God.
Hell no.
God. You have defended Jizzy so much in this discussion.
Because you guys were blaming it all on her at the beginning.
Yeah, she's a wretched person.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not. Nobody's all at fault. Nobody is singularly at fault when a marriage falls apart.
Right.
But in this particular situation, when it was being put out there that she was upset that he went back and played football, that's her fault. You cannot ask a man to give up his career to make you happy, because when he gives up his career, it's not going to make you happy. This is what I always say about guys in their 50s who go out and cheat with girls in their 20s. Hey, it's cool the first couple of times, that you procreate and you make babies and stuff.
Right.
But then you turn into Herschel Walk. No, I won't. Anyway, my point is, it's only sex can only sustain a relationship for so long, and it's not very long at all.
Where is Aaron right
So
now?
when you're out cheating on your wife or on your husband or whatnot, it usually cannot sustain. But geez, dogs trying to like knock over cameras.
What the hell is wrong with people?
We need to move into our new studio.
Yeah.
You know what else we need in the studio that I was thinking about? We probably need like some sort of a shoe cam. So we can show
Maybe
the
we do.
shoes that are being worn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
We'll see. Uh-oh.
Boy. Here we go.
Bots in the comments. Bots in the comments.
Ridiculous.
Now we got to go and report them.
Totally ridiculous.
But we got them right away this time.
You did.
Good job.
I'm proud of myself for that.
Good job.
Yeah, we got to get we're building the new studio this weekend, by the way. We have locks coming up here in a minute on the Monty Show presented, Football Friday presented by Quack Car Wash. Make sure you get to Quack. Great experience, good people, easy to get through, quick in and out. Bring your kids because their presentation in the wash tunnel is actually awesome. So bring the kids to Quack Car Wash as well. But one of the things I think is so interesting is that marriage and relationships, it impacts everybody. Like it truly impacts everybody. Mm-hmm. And one of the funny things, the reason I say that is we're building this new studio, and it's been sort of stressful, but I feel like the design of the studio has been pretty easy.
I mean, it's not a difficult thing. Like, I think it's just, it's a process. There's so many little odds and ends that you have to kind of figure out and work through that you never think of right off the top. And it just seems like you're burning through piles of money to get it done. That's where the stress comes in, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Steve Burnett says, never underestimate Florida man. They can find out everything that goes on around here. Okay. There you go. You have, what does that mean? Mrs. Monty, you have TDS, LOL. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. It could be. Boyd Lake says Giselle's earning power has a clock and it's ticking. She's having a supermodel midlife crisis. I think that's absolutely
could be.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that matters. I mean, she's entitled to happiness.
Yeah.
She's entitled to happiness. Same way Tom is. Giselle's entitled to happiness. She's entitled to earn. She's entitled to be a model if that's what she wants to be.
Yeah.
But you have to, if you're committed to a marriage, and I think we all get divorced way too easily. If you're committed to a marriage, you're going to do what you have to do to work that out.
Yeah.
It's just I hope you don't give that away. Eric and Raleigh says, "Wait, are you building a shoe closet in the Maverick Center? Is that going to be your merch store?" No, but we are going to have shoes in the studio.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have shoes on display.
We'll have a couple of shoe racks in there, shelves rather in there, and we'll display the fire.
It'll
I
get
thought we were
worked
going
out.
to keep doing the little mini shelves so they look like they're floating on the wall.
We can do that. We can absolutely do that. We just have to figure out, is it a big shelf? Is it a little shelf? Like,
it's a mini shelf.
Well, those are mini shelves, but I'm you going to make it over there?
The dog is like licking obsessively.
That's what dogs do.
8:13 and it's not time yet. And they're like, come on.
Let's settle this right now.
Yeah, they're on you today. They're on you. I don't disagree with that. Let's see. Dexter Hunsacker says, I missed the news. Where is the new studio? Exciting stuff. Congrats. New studio is at Maverick Center. Please go subscribe to the Utah Grizzlies YouTube channel. Just search Google Utah Grizzlies YouTube. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Please follow them on Twitter. We are creating content with the Grizzlies. So our studio is going to be on the main concourse at Maverick Center. You cannot miss it. If you go into the Maverick Center and you just walk up the steps, it's down the hall to your right. You cannot miss it. It is right next to the team store. It's attached to the team store.
Yep.
And it's going to be awesome. And we're super excited about it. As soon as we have internet in that building, we will be there on a full-time basis every single day. We're having a big graphic put on the door and on the back wall, and
it's going to be awesome.
There's another component to this that we have yet to launch, so we are going to tell you about that as well. But we are going to be doing broadcasting for the Grizzlies as well. I'll be doing color commentary on their broadcast. Tyson Whiting from the old 1320K fan,
the sports leader,
is going to be doing the play-by-play. I'll be doing the color. And we are creating content with them. One of the things that we do, if you follow us on Twitter, you've seen some clips of it. If you follow the Grizzlies on YouTube, which, again, please go and follow them. They need subscribers. They need watch time. So go watch their videos on YouTube. Utah Grizzlies, hit subscribe.
Their videos are our videos and their videos and stuff.
And we've made a bunch of videos, and Inside the Grizzlies is a series that we are shooting and producing for them. And it's a great relationship. We're really lucky to be partnering with them and have a studio at Maverick Center, and it's going to be great. We are going to be, really taking you behind the scenes of professional hockey. By the way, training camp opens Monday.
Yeah.
Already at the ECHL level, so that's totally exciting.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Tanner says, Monty, you need to be a marriage counselor. Dude, I have my own marriage I counsel.
He broke up with you over text
I
message?
think, you know what I think the funny thing is? I think that people make like basic little mistakes in their marriage. Like I came home yesterday, and not because I'm bragging, but this is a perfect example. I came home yesterday, and we had a sink full of dishes for 2 days. And Mrs. Monty had gotten the butt rooter and all that good stuff happening. And so we hadn't done the dishes in a couple of days. The dishwasher was full of clean dishes. Mrs. Monty, when I had walked in the door, was on a phone call for work. She had emptied the dishwasher, and it was open, and she was clearly organizing the dishes to do the dishes. So what did I do? I just walked up to the sink, did the dishes, loaded the dishwasher, cleaned the counters, and started the dishwasher.
Right.
It's not something she was like, hey, we just do that. You have to do those little things. You need to, every morning I kiss Mrs. Monty good morning before I walk out of my room at 4:30. Like it's those little things that make a difference. Like, because if you don't feel valued, and if you don't feel supported, or if you don't have friendship as well as a marriage, like it's just easy to walk away from it. Because you're going to have down days. You're going to have times where we argue about the dogs barking the other day. Like I'm trying to find a logo on my phone. The dogs are barking.
Right.
And like you wind up getting at each other over that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Mrs. Monty's trying to get the dog to whine. Anyway, the point is feeding the dogs. Perfect example.
Right.
Like we feed the dogs twice a day, usually around 8:30 and 5:30.
Uh-huh.
And Mrs. Monty generally does that. But you got to be able to do that. Yesterday I did it because she was on the phone.
Right.
You know, like it's just a partnership. It truly is it's not a marriage. It's a partnership. But that partnership has to be equal. And you have to feel valued. And I just think so many people make the dumbest little mistakes.
Yes.
Like financially, you know, we spent probably $5,000 in the last week, easy.
Yeah.
On equipment. Like if I just come home and like, hey, I bought all this equipment, you know.
You gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you don't say, hey, well, you know, I'm thinking about buying this, but like we broke our drone the other day. We broke the gimbal and the gimbal costs more than the drone costs,
right.
Which is ridiculous.
Right.
But so we were buying a drone, and we were hanging out at Picture Line Photography yesterday, and they have this drone that's $3,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to spend $3,000 on a drone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was talking to Mrs. Monty about it on the phone, and we're like, yeah, we don't want to do that, and you know, so like it's just a partnership. And I think people, and it's usually men. I don't even hesitate to say this. I think men make so many mistakes in marriage that drives a wedge between themselves and their wife. And it's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, like women do things too, don't get me wrong. But I think as men, we far more control the mood. Like I control the mood in our house. There's no question about it. If I'm in a shitty mood or a bad mood, it impacts everybody, right? So I have to be the one that I have to be the one.
Let's settle this right now.
I have to be the one to say, we're going to have sex right now. Let's go.
Keep it real.
You know.
Wow.
No, but you have to be, as a man, you have to be a leader. I just believe that. I think there's how do I say this? There is a natural instinct to being a leader. And I think as men, we have a responsibility to lead our households.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something I take very seriously. You know, now I don't know. I'm not always great at it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I have my moments. But
I was super proud of you when you looked up the video after you had your mental meltdown with the sheet suspenders.
Yeah, last weekend.
You know,
Last Saturday night, it's like midnight, and we stayed up later for no reason, or it was like 10:30 even. It felt like 4 a.m. Anyway, the point is I'm old. We stayed up later than normal. I was super tired, and we had done all of our laundries. Another perfect example, right? Like I had washed our sheets. I had taken our sheets off the bed, put them in the laundry, and we use these sheet suspenders,
right,
to keep the sheets on the bed.
Right.
Yes.
And there's 3 parts to them. There's like 3 places they attach to the sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm out of my mind tired. I'm having trouble keeping the suspender on the sheet. And then the A word decides, hey, this is the perfect time to turn the lights off in the room. So I was like, F-A, mother effer.
Try to stay calm and not curse.
I spent about 10 seconds losing my mind.
That's what fucking takes
breaking down.
Off.
Yeah, like
couldn't. You know what the problem is, though, is you won't ask for help like in the moment. You wouldn't say to me like, hey, can you come show me what I'm doing that's different?
No, I'm a man. I know how to do everything.
Right.
But afterwards, you looked it up on the video, which is good. That's a good compromise.
I do want to hear what I want to hear. But yeah, anyway, so when we were done,
yeah,
I got on YouTube and looked up how to put sheet suspenders on.
Right.
And it turns out I did it completely wrong. You just need to put one here in the... But you have to do that stuff. And I also think I've gotten much better at saying, hey, you know what? I could have handled that better.
Vexes me.
You know, like,
yeah,
I don't believe in...
Vexed.
I think the word sorry is one of the worst words in the dictionary. Like yesterday, FedEx screwed me on a package delivery. Oh, sorry. Hey, sorry, man. Sorry. I finally said to the guy, I don't want to hear sorry. I want the package delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's what Karen said to him. Anyway, but the point is,
right.
but the point is, I also think you have to say, hey, you know, I own this. You don't need to say I'm sorry. You need to say, hey, you know what? I could have handled that better. I shouldn't have freaked out. I should have done.
Yeah,
and I think you have. That's part of it.
How about that?
Totally.
That's absolutely part of it. Boyd Lake says men have trouble seeing things. It's easy to get blinders on and miss the small stuff that needs attention. Yeah, I think that's very true. Tanner says facts. Tanner says at Ruff's official, they rarely talk politics anymore. Yeah, I don't know what Ruff said, but we rarely talk politics. Absolutely. Sex is Monty's new sports show advice. LOL. Could be. Do the, Kay Nurin says, do the dishes, take the trash, walk the dogs, do your laundry. It's not that difficult. It's little things like feeding the dogs cause huge fights.
Right.
And you just can't do it, man. And I have 2 small dogs. It takes 35 seconds to feed the dogs.
Yeah.
But that small, simple act can be the worst or the best thing you do. You know, my dog is losing his mind. Boyd Lake says, my wife won't let me do laundry and I'm not bad at it. I'm not bad at laundry. The problem for us is we have our laundry room is in the basement.
Right.
And our master's on the 3rd floor. So you got to carry the basket down and
it's highly inconvenient.
We generally do it Saturday morning. I will Saturday morning wake up, get out of bed. I'm very rhythmic about life.
Yes, you are.
I take my vitamins at the same time. I try to do things at the same time so I don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning, almost always, I bring my laundry basket downstairs and just start my laundry.
Yeah.
Because then once I flip my laundry to the dryer, generally if Mrs. Motzi's not going to do hers, I'll put in towels because we tend to go through a lot of towels in our house.
Right.
So I try to, right after my laundry, put a load of towels in.
Yeah.
And then generally, Mrs. Monty will go downstairs, take my laundry out of the dryer, put the towels in the dryer, put her clothes in the washer.
That's right, T.
And it's just kind of this thing.
Cycle.
Yeah. You know.
Anyways.
Ken Williams says, I do it all. I cook, I clean.
There you go.
There you go.
And sometimes that's what works. It's not that I wouldn't do your laundry. I wouldn't have you do my laundry because I'm like complicated. I have high maintenance freaking laundry. I don't want you to have to worry about it. Like, I don't want you to have to read every label.
Because you're also the psychopath that wears these toe socks, and you're like, oh, can't put them in the dryer.
I wear toe socks.
We can't put them in the dryer. Nope, can't.
It's really despicable.
And if you've never worn toe socks,
listen,
you should try them.
Hey, bro, if you could read the label, I mean, you got the permanent press. Do you like how hard is it? Put it on permanent press and hit start. Like
I
this
never,
is not difficult.
I relieve you of any
Oh
responsibility.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Laundry. Anyways.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, a couple more on this. Then we need to get to locks here on the Monty Show, presented by the Utah Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. As Mayor Tanner, I forbid any homework to be done between the hours of 6:30 and 9:30. Thank you.
Oh, is Tanner on homework right now?
Yeah, Tanner said, all right, guys, I got to go. I got to do homework now.
Good for you, man. Get it done.
Casual.
Get it done, buddy.
Casual.
Ruff's official said, will the Grizzlies collaboration change the topics you talk about? No, why would it?
No, because I don't think we're...
This is just Ruff's official being Ruff's official.
I think it's an honest question. Will it change at all what we talk about? Because are we just going to talk hockey now? Nope. No. There will be hockey programming.
No, I think he was more
time.
talking about politics.
I don't know. Could have been interested. Let's give Ruffs a chance.
Hell no.
Let's give him a chance.
Give Ruffs a chance.
I'm giving you a chance, Ruffs. Where's Fat Jesus? Because I feel like
he's here every day.
We've been abandoned.
You've abandoned our show.
See, the dog's pissed now.
He is upset. He is. Don't start them barking, please. Hullabilly says, I'll be in here in the chat smack talking the Blackhawks and Avalanche, dude. Do not start with the Blackhawks. You beat
the
Wild beat the Hawks last. The
So
Chicago
don't even think
Blackhawks.
about messing with me.
The Chicago Blackhawks are terrible. Please, Josh Levern says expert marriage tip: if your wife has been through poor times, tragedy, sickness, stood by you through all of that, she's probably the reason for all of those problems.
Next comment.
Solid advice.
Next comment.
Edwin says, wait, is that Ruff's official? I heard barking at the wind. He was barking.
Right.
At the wind. Brent Burnett says, Draymond apologized. Yeah, because he's dumb.
Yeah.
He's dumb.
Idiot.
Eric and Raleigh says, have you seen the Draymond video? I have. Jake wanted to play it today, but it's Football Friday. Presented by Quack Car Wash. So I didn't want to do that. All right, let's get to locks on the show because it's 8:30 and we all got lives to live.
Yeah.
Are we going to play like music under the locks or are we just going to do There we go. Attaboy. Let's do some locks here on the Monty Show. Why don't we start with the Utah Utes -3 at UCLA. The Rose Bowl. It sucks. Saturday, 1:30 on Fox. Primetime gig tomorrow for the Utes. The problem is the number on this game is so whack that I don't even know. I mean, the number is 64.5.
Yeah.
The over-under on this game, 64.5. 3.5 in favor of the Utes. I think the Utes are going to win this game, but it's going to be like 27-24. I feel like 27-24. I don't think the Utes cover. I don't think they win by a touchdown. I think it's 27-24 Utah.
Yeah, I have to go with Utah as well, but I think it's a little more. Still under. 31-27 is what I would go with.
So they are going to score. UCLA, I'm telling you, UCLA is undervalued defensively.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I think that I don't know. I like one of these teams is scoring 30 points.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be Utah. Utah's going to win 27.
31-27 Utah, man.
Okay.
Turnovers.
Turnovers. You think they win on turnovers?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's going to be tight. What do you guys think of the Utah-UCLA game? Couple of comments real quick. Tom Basilius says, so Utah money line with the under. Yes, absolutely. Utah money line with the under. Brent Burnett says BYU Notre Dame is the real game, and it'll be close, 31-24. Well, I don't know. John Anderson says Utah continues to cover. We'll take that bet again this week. We'll see. I mean, they've been a covering machine. There is no doubt about that. I mean, it's 1:30. It's a primetime game on Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge spotlight game. Man, I just feel like 30 points is a lot on these two defenses. And maybe you're right. Maybe you get a defensive score here that pushes you over 30. I mean, I think that's the only way you see them score 30 points.
I mean, I don't even know that the defense has to score. I just think the defense is going to create turnovers in this game, I think.
Yeah, I am much more in the corner of under 30. I would take, money line is where it's at. BYU, as you know, is in Las Vegas, baby. Las Vegas. BYU, Notre Dame. -4 in favor of Notre Dame is the consensus number. Saturday night, 5:30, NBC. TV is where you get that. Moneyline is probably also the number here. 51's the number. I think you're going to go over that.
Yeah.
This is a game I feel like, though, this could be a face pounding. I feel like this is going to be. My question is, how many points is BYU going to score? I think Notre Dame wants to slow this game down. I think their defense at Notre Dame is better than people give them credit for.
Right.
Puka Nacua is going to play in this game. I don't know about Chase Roberts. Miles Davis is out. Malik Moore is out. They've got big injuries up front. Notre Dame should be able to run the rock. How many points is BYU going to score in this game?
Yeah, this is a game where I feel like BYU's not getting over 30. I think this is like, high 20s for sure. Picking this game, I would say if BYU's going to win this game, it's by a field goal. I would love to say that Jake makes that kick to win the game and kind of joins the redemption tour here.
You mean Jake the Make?
Yeah, Jake the Make until this year. Does,
and this is probably the question. Does Michael Mayer have 75 yards receiving and a touchdown? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think he's the problem here. I don't think necessarily that I worry about Lorenzo Styles. I worry about Michael Mayer, the tight end at Notre Dame. And I worry about Audric Estime running for 100 yards.
That's the guy you got to worry about. That's the guy you got to worry about.
He's averaging 5 yards a carry. He's got 4 scores,
Audric
264
yards.
yards.
Audric can pop off for 150 on you real quick. And I think that I don't worry about tight ends and wide receivers having big games until I can't stop the run. Because once you can't stop the run, then those guys get wide open. So to me, this game hinges on Estime. He is the biggest X factor in the game.
Man, I almost hate to say it.
Go ahead and do it. I know you want to. I
think BYU wins 56-10.
Well,
if I'm being serious, I think this is a one-possession game. You need to pay attention to who converts on third down. There's going to be a lot of third downs in this game. I had a 31-24 on a late touchdown by BYU. I think I'm gonna go 31-28. Notre Dame wins.
Damn.
31-28 Notre Dame. It's going over. I don't have belief that Notre Dame, that BYU can stop the run. And my biggest concern is the run game. I believe in Jaron Hall 100%. I don't believe that BYU can stop the run, and I don't think they can run the ball.
Yeah. Man, that's rough, dude.
31-28.
That is rough, bro.
31-28 Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And 28's a gift. Because I feel like you score 21 points getting off the bus. I think Jaron is special, so I'll give him another touchdown. That's how I get to 28. I just don't think they're going to be able to stop the run, and I worry if Audric Estime breaks you off for a late touchdown, a 60-yard run. That's what worries me. That's what will lose the game for BYU.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to play a lot of 3 up, drop 8. I think you're going to see 7 in the box pretty much the entire game for BYU. This is a very difficult game to predict. The 31-28 Notre Dame wins.
Okay. I'll go 27-24 BYU.
27-24.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's not like Notre Dame's offense is anything to write home about.
Well, they're not, but the issue is
you are defense.
If you cannot stop the run, you cannot stop the pass.
Yeah. Again, that's what I'm saying.
It's that simple.
I'm not overcomplicating this. Stop the run, you win the game. You don't stop the run, you lose the game. It's that simple. Like, if Audric has 150, 160 yards, this game's over by a lot. They'll lose by 2-3 touchdowns. If they hold him to 100, 110, you're fine. You're fine.
All right, let's get your score predictions in here on Football Friday, presented by Quack Car Wash. As we pick games, we lock it up. BYU, I've got Notre Dame winning 31-28. I've got the Utes winning 27-24. And I think these are 2 very difficult games to call. So, Dallin Sproul says 31-28. If that's your score, it's because Jake Oldroyd misses a kick to tie it.
It's rough, dude.
Tell me I'm crazy. Brent Burnett says BYU can stop the run if healthy. Well, the problem is you're without 3 big names potentially. I mean, Gabe Summers has to play. I don't know any other way that if you don't have Gabe Summers in this game and he didn't play, hopefully he plays. He didn't play against Utah State. You know, my guess is you're going to have Puka. I don't know about Chase Roberts, but my guess is you're going to have Puka Nacua. You're not going to have Malik Moore. And it comes down to Gabe Summers, Blake Mangelson, and Josh Larson. And Gabe Summers is a real question mark. So we'll see. Josh says Hall's stats with 0 run offense have been amazing. They have.
Totally.
They have. You know, they absolutely have. Hullabilly says Monty's sounding like a Northwestern fan with that prediction, LOL.
I mean, it's a difficult game to pick, man. Like, there are many reasons to pick Notre Dame in this game.
There is. I'm not worried about BYU's offense. They can put up points if everything is clicking. It's not the defense. It's the defense I get worried about. You can't rely on Jake at all. Sorry, no, you can't. I agree with that. Gage Carter gives us $19.99 and a tip. Gage, thank you. Hey, guys, thanks so much for hooking my pops up with some Grizz tickets. You dudes are freaking awesome. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome.
You're welcome.
By the way, you want to go to the Grizzlies opening weekend? Opening night, Friday night. If you tweet a picture of us with your +1 or something Utah Grizzlies, and Gage tweeted us a picture, his dad tweeted us a picture of himself with the Grizzlies website in the background.
Yeah.
We gave him a pair of tickets to opening weekend, Friday night. Let's go. Hook it up. The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. Greg Hawkins says, sup, y'all, what's going on? Brother BKL Contreras, sportstainment guy, says, salutations, fellas. Notre Dame became a struggling between defense, and I'm not sure they literally good between offense. BYU became top teams. I got BYU. That's my thoughts. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Eric and Raleigh says UNC is a sieve. BYU can stop or slow down the run by simply being on the field.
I don't know about all that.
Ken Williams says 35-27 BYU. Dallin Sproul says 31-27 BYU. Jeremy Bolton says, I agree with Ken as well. I can't see BYU coming out flat again. I bet they are jacked for this game.
They better be.
They better be. They better be. Jeremy says, damn you, Monty, with Notre Dame winning. I say 31-28 BYU. Jaron is special. He wins it for them. Notre Dame won't be able to stop Puka. Notre Dame's defense kept Ohio State down for most of that game. I hope you're right. I mean, this is a huge moment in time for BYU.
Yeah. A lot of topside potential here. A lot of, hey, launch yourself into relevance again potential.
A huge moment in time. You know, Kurt Meyer says, Monty, you're on ayahuasca. Could be. Could be. You know. Tom Basilius says, BYU squeaks this out, in my opinion. Brent Burnett says, BYU wins because I said so.
Well.
Gage Carter says Utah 38-35. Gage also says BYU 31-24. Okay, VT says BYU wins 12-9 in overtime. Stop it.
Dude,
do not curse us with that prediction.
Come on.
That would be terrible. Greg Hawkins, what's up? Says score prediction for this weekend, Utah 45, UCLA 17. If it's 45-17, I don't know how they get to 45.
Yeah, I don't.
Because UCLA's defense is vastly undervalued. And again, Jake Bobo, I'm telling you, the guy can play. The guy can play. Notre Dame 31, USU 10. BYU 24, Notre Dame 31, my bad. USU 10, Air Force 28. Jesus. I don't know how you go to Air Force and, I mean, that run game up there is crazy.
Yeah.
Chris P. says, BYU always loses games like this. I've learned my lesson of getting my hopes up over the years.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see. Josh Levern says BYU was jacked for Oregon, too. Too jacked, by the way. Dallin, big factor. Notre Dame is staying on the strip. BYU off the strip, big factor. Hullabilly says, I hope BYU loses 49-0.
Hullabilly, that's not nice, bro. That is offensive.
Wow, 49-0. Brent Burnett says Ohio State's not that good. Nah. Ohio State good? I mean,
come on.
Is Ohio State good?
No.
No.
Idiots.
Dummy. Ohio State's very good. I will agree they have not been tested after Notre Dame. They get Michigan State, Iowa, Penn State, Northwestern, Indiana, Maryland, and Michigan. They won't be tested till Michigan.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we know how good they are. Well, we don't know how good UCLA is. You know,
I just think a lot
out.
of these teams have to go through these games, and they're going to be tested. And I'm telling you, I think Utah has more ability to overcome tests like this than BYU does right now. So we'll see. We'll see. Again,
how do you explain, though? And Greg, exactly right. He took the words right out of my mouth. After seeing BYU struggle like that with USU, I can't say they're going to win this. How do you explain their struggle to stop Utah State from running the ball?
Yeah, you don't. And I think that it's this whole hype thing and struggling to come out, but coming out too fast. Like, you have to just the leadership on this team needs to wake up. Like, the leadership in the room needs to wake up and kind of take over here and bring these guys out ready.
Yeah, because I also don't think this is an issue with the coaches.
No.
And I know a lot of people want to point to Kalani and Tuiaki, and this is not an issue with the coaches. The players have to take accountability for how they come out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that it's I don't know. Like I said earlier in the show, I don't have a lot of faith in BYU to win this game, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt one more time.
Les Wayman says, let's do this. Let's do this, Les. Hullabilly, LOL, Ken Williams says, not 49-0. Dallin says, also my last name is like Sprout with an else. Sproul? Dallin Sproul. Is that how we're pronouncing it? Okay.
Yeah, he's saying it's not Sproul.
You're so swole, though. M. Johnson says, I just woke up. Hey, welcome to the show. Good to see you, buddy. Kurt Meyer says, black is my lucky color. We're with you, man.
You know.
Chinalmeng. Tom Basilius, 28-17, Utah with a much-needed dub. This is a huge – I think Utah's going to win this game. But, again, I'm just going to say, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is arguably the best quarterback in that league in the Pac-12. Their defense is really underrated, and Bobo's a hell of a receiver. Charbonnet has given them an absolute weapon in both the receiving and the running game. And I think DTR not turning the ball over, not trying to play hero ball, not jumping over three dudes.
Yeah.
He's playing within himself. And I think that he has grown up. I think this is year 17 in the program at UCLA for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I mean, he made a very wise decision to come back with his COVID year. And I think that's bearing fruit.
Yeah.
That's bearing fruit. Giggity, is beating a 2-2 unranked team really that big of a deal? BYU should win 37-31.
We'll see, man.
We'll see. Jeremy Bolton says, where are your seats for the game? You better be wearing royal blue. I'm not going to the game. Brent Burnett says, who will have more fun, more fans in the stadium? Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame. It's a Notre Dame home game, so Notre Dame gets far more tickets.
Way more tickets.
And by all accounts in Vegas, the Irish are everywhere. The Irish are absolutely everywhere. Cody Strickland said, did my tweet qualify for some tickets? Guy, do you ever check your Twitter?
Cody, come on, bud.
Cody is a handful. Yes, I sent you a tweet. Yes, it does. I sent you a tweet. Hullabilly says, LOL. UCLA had one of the weakest schedules in FBS. Utah dominates 37-27. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. We're going to find out tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox who UCLA is. I agree. They have not really been tested. They've not been tested.
No.
So, we'll find out. I mean, I look at UCLA and I tend to agree that UCLA hasn't really had to fight for their lives yet.
Yeah, it's a soft 4-0. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think
But Washington was not soft going in there. You can't have it both ways. Everybody said what a shocker, and Washington's good, and then UCLA beats Washington, and people are like, oh, Washington was soft. Well, which one is it? Was Washington really good, or they beat a quality opponent in the Washington Huskies? There's just no other way to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So they have a quality win over Washington, but I would agree. You look at South Alabama, Colorado, Bama State, Bowling Green.
Yeah, Roll River.
They're not the best defense in the Pac-12. That's Utah.
Yeah.
But is DTR legit? I think he is. I think his ball placement, I think his decision-making, I think his leadership are all as good as we've ever seen out of DTR. And I think as a fifth-year senior, that's exactly what it's so rare to have a fifth-year senior at quarterback.
Yeah, I just think mentally he's ready to go, and that's what the fifth-year thing does for him. And I think that, when you have that experience and you can just stay calm and be in your zone, you're good, man. It's like he will be fine. I just think that Utah will overcome and win this game.
Greg Hawkins, the resident mayor of Uteville on this show, says, I think UCLA is good. DTR seems like a great QB, but I know Utah is good. So this game will really tell everyone if UCLA is a championship contender. Well, and I think that's very well said. We know Utah is good.
Yeah.
I still have questions about their wide receivers. I mean, Solomon Enos has to be better. There's just no way to get around that they have to be better. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah. The wide receiver core at Utah has to be better. But it seems like that's something we're talking about every year on Kyle Whittingham teams,
It is something we're talking about.
Wide receivers have to perform better. They need more talent. Like, they always need something out wide. And I think, that was the thing with Brant Keithy is like, hey, he kind of brought you that replacement after Britton Covey went to the league and everything, Brant Keithy was kind of that next guy that was like the workhorse of the offense. But again, that's why you need Tavion Thomas to step up and run the football this week so that you can open it up for Devon Vele and some of these other guys like, Enos and, these other guys that are trying to contribute.
Yeah, by the way, I think that's a really good point. Tavion Thomas needs to be RB1 this weekend for sure. Washington was overrated Utes by multiple scores. I hope you're right. This is a huge game for Utah. So overrated, Holabilly, Josh Leverin says. Okay, so is the consensus that Utah's going to win by 57 points and that BYU's going to lose by some huge amount? I don't know.
Seems like it.
Greg Hawkins gives us a $10 tip and says, I love sports. No, Greg, we love you.
Thank you, Greg.
Good to see you, Greg. I think Tavion will be. I think he'll get back to being Tavion.
Hope so.
And we're going to figure out who UCLA's defense is. 1:30 on Fox tomorrow is where we find out. Gage Carter says Vele's going to have 100 yards and a touchdown. He's really coming on strong. I think he's due for a big game. Yeah, I wonder what when you look at the offense for Utah and you look at the way that their offense is built. And you start looking at some of the analysis of their run game, Jaquindon Jackson becomes a guy that I really want more from now. Mm-hmm. And Wick converted him now to running back or what have you. I don't know if it's full-time, but whatever.
He's just an athlete, bro.
I want to see the ball in his hands more. I am so intrigued with him and the way that he has gone about handling this transition. He straight up said, I want to play football. If that's a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, I don't care. I want to play football. You love that attitude in kids because he was a highly recruited guy.
Yes.
I want to see the football in his hands more. And
great body, great athlete, really a smart
good attitude.
Guy, good attitude. And I just think that Whittingham does have this propensity and ability to take somebody who plays safety and turn them into a all-American wide receiver. He just finds a way.
Ruff's official says Cam Rising is ranked number 6. Jaron Hall is 31 in QB season stats. Yeah, Jaron Hall is the best quarterback in the state. Yeah, is there a Ute fan that thinks that Cam Rising's better than Jaron? Nobody thinks that. Stop. Don't. Jeremy, I agree. Would love to see a holy war this year. The top 20 matchup with two great QBs. Gimme. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, what did Jeremy say? Not going to lie, Utah is a solid team this year. I see them beating UCLA by multiple scores. It's a shame this rivalry game isn't being played this year. Jaron versus Rising is what fans need.
Correct.
Fans want.
Yes.
Fans want.
And again,
Jaron versus
that's
Rising.
Why I say, not that we have time for it today, Utah should go to the Big 12. There is a lot of reasons it makes sense.
I agree. Utah absolutely should go to the Big 12, and I think that you should call Wayman Brothers Construction and build them a road to a ramp to the maybe like a go. Anyway, Wayman Brothers can build you anything you want. 801-654-1028. 801-654-1028. Have them build you a red brick road to the Big 12. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wayman Brothers Construction built our studio at Maverick Center and did a great job doing it. I can't say enough about Alma Wayman and his guys, Teddy Wayman, all those guys that have done work in my home. They've done work for me personally. They built this great deck and hot tub pad that I never use because Mrs. Monty is very
always have
Giselle.
You slaving away on the dishes.
And I always have to do the dishes and walk the dogs and clean the toilets and stuff.
And do ayahuasca.
Yeah. The point is that Wayman Brothers Construction built a great deck for us, a hot tub pad. Teddy Wayman's worked on my shower. You look at the quality of work that you get from a small local business here in Utah. Wayman Brothers Construction can finish your basement, build you a new apartment above your garage, rework your kitchen or your bathroom. You need it, they can do it. By the way, they just built us a studio at Maverick Center, man. From a custom-built studio. And they knocked it out of the park. They did it on time. They were early. They did it on budget. They communicated well. I threw in things like, hey, hang our lights. Hey, put deadbolts on our doors. Hey, we need to change the door that I picked out that
because it's the greatest door and everything, and then it wasn't, and whatever.
On time. Their change orders were great. They're just good guys to do business with it. Wayman Brothers Construction 801-654-1028. Tell me you heard about it on the Monty Show. So, again, let's reset. We're doing our locks here on Football Friday.
Yes.
Football at 50, 10 of the hour, every hour, presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your order of $25 or more. I'm taking Notre Dame 31-28 over BYU. And, you know, at 27-24 feels like the right number to me. I don't mind bumping that up. 35-27 Utah. Because either way, I think Utah's winning that game. By a score, multiple scores. I think I am very confident in Utah winning that game.
Yeah.
I am not so confident that BYU can stop the run. That's where I'm at with it.
To me, I like both of them to win. So to me, I have some reservations about BYU, but I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to go 27-24 BYU, and I just have a feeling Jake makes a big kick in this game. I don't know why. Maybe I'm dumb, but it just feels like at some point he needs to get back on the train here, and just get back to being reliable. So 27-24 BYU. And for Utah, I tend to agree with people who say that they're going to do some damage here with UCLA. I just believe in that defense. So I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I'm going to go 31-24 for Utah. I think they have a great day on defense.
Jeremy Bolton says, I'd love to have Utah in the Big 12. Brett Burnett says, Utes need to leave the Pac-12. Hearing the Big 12 TV deal is a much higher. Oh, it is.
There's no doubt.
It's not close.
Yeah.
Cam never gets recognized for his ability to consistently extend plays when they break down. He's not a pocket passer. I would agree. Listen, Cam Rising and Jaron Hall are very good quarterbacks. The difference is that Jaron just has that it factor. He has that it factor. He is their entire offense. He makes Puka, Gunner, Chase Roberts. He's been able to keep their drives going. He's been able to sustain their offensive production without a running game.
Yes.
Even through some frustrating play calling. Whatever this rotation was on the offensive line, Jaron Hall has been able to sustain that offense. And I'm not saying that Cam Rising doesn't do that. Jaron Hall just has the it factor. That's all it is, man. It's not that Cam's a bad quarterback. Brother BKL says, Monty literally forgot what's the last word he's about to say between construction. Yeah, I'm old, man.
Okay.
Maybe I need enlightenment in my brain.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It is what it is. Ken Williams says Utah should have already made a call to the Big 12. I believe they have. Honestly, I do. Les Wayman says, definitely going to be using your code this weekend. Thanks, Monty. You guys are awesome. You bet, Les. Good to see you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Les.
VT says, source, trust me, bro. Okay. Thanks. Final prediction, 31-24 BYU. Woo!
Man,
if you hold Notre Dame,
sir.
If you hold Notre Dame to 24 points, you will win this game. You will win this game. Again, it's only about whether or not they can stop the run.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the beginning and the end of it.
Yeah.
Mrs. Monty is currently macking some oats.
Yeah.
That just looks so phenomenal.
Oh, here we go.
I don't even, my God, they look really good. Did you make me oats?
Yours are sitting on the counter.
Getting cold, yeah.
In a bowl with a lid on top. So keeping them warm.
I appreciate it. What are the oats this morning?
Blueberry.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. And I put a lot of blueberry.
Yeah, seriously.
They're very, very blueberry.
Blueberries are an aphrodisiac. Right? For me, pretty much any food's an aphrodisiac. But I love blueberries.
I love blueberries.
I do.
Fresh oats.
Love. Yeah, fresh oats are where it's at.
Yep.
Keep the colon clean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. BKL says, I probably called the construction to fix and get rid of bots. We need a monkey backup. Yeah, I got rid of the bots, man. I handled it. Imagine how good Jaron Hall would look if BYU actually had a running game. Seriously,
bro.
Darren Sproul. I know off topic, but what do you guys think of Victor Wembanyama? He went off this week.
Against who, bro? Against who? Yeah, I'm willing to do 3 minutes on VW.
Let's do it in 5 minutes at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Let's do it 5 minutes at 9 o'clock. Let's see. Hullabilly says, Monty, you get Hall and Oates. See, it's Jaron Hall and Oates.
Right.
Jaron Hall and
mean, really. They're blueberry oats with banana.
Look how good those look.
Little almond butter.
I want it. Will you sow my oats later tonight? Will you sow my oats?
Oh, yeah.
Get a room.
Stop it.
Get a room.
Stop it. See?
I'm a man.
Anyway, Brent Burnett says, agree about stopping the run, but if this game is close, then kicking is going to be the other concern. Yeah, I agree. Teddy Wayman says, Tyler Algier might start this weekend. Yeah, for the Atlanta Falcons. Kay Nurin says, Utah wins and goes to the Big Ten West. Okay, perhaps. Wouldn't that be amazing if
the Big Ten West?
If Jimmy Allgaier started in the back like Tanner Allgaier, the new running back, the walk-on that BYU started at running back. He looks like he's built like an NFL running back. What happened? Jansen says, I bet Mrs. Hall makes Jaron some oats.
Wow.
But again, did nobody get? Are we going to sow our oats later?
Yeah.
Nothing.
We got that, babe.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
It's okay.
Let's see. Derek Firth says, any non-sports talk today? Well, we just talked about sex and marriage for like 20 minutes.
Fucking A.
Yeah. Exactly right. M. Johnson says, I miss Tyler Algier so much. He was something special. We all miss Tyler
Seriously.
Algier. Are you kidding me? The fact that Notre Dame is expected to run and pound the ball all game makes me think that there will be a running clock and we'll see a lower scoring game. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I think there is a
27-24. BYU escapes.
Yeah. Ken Williams says, having sausage, eggs, and hash browns, hell with not eating meat, LOL. Just drink more water. Yeah, well, Giggity says, speaking of marriage, any updates, Jake?
No comment. There are no updates at this time.
Jake, your public wants to know.
There are no updates.
Your
I mean, I don't
your
know
public
we're not getting married. I don't know what to tell you. We're not getting married at this time.
Speaking of health, though, you know what was nice to hear? It was nice to hear.
Like, for instance.
Before, like, when the nurse was doing all the prep and everything, she's like, yeah, you are really healthy. I just looked at all of your records because, all of my records are connected within the UU.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Thanks. That's why we, on a regular basis here on Football at 50, what we like to do because we're so healthy is eat Jacko pizza.
911, what's your emergency?
Something is in my house.
I'm sorry, say again?
I smell something delicious and I don't know what it is.
Ma'am, can you describe it for me?
It smells like golden crust, freshly shredded cheese, and pepperoni.
Ma'am, we've traced the smell, and it's coming from inside your oven.
What do you mean?
It's a Papa Murphy's Jacko pizza, and it's just $10.
Ah, amazing.
Papa Murphy's.
Papa Murphy.
Exactly. Hey, we got it. Britt is supposed to be the voice of the show.
We have to do our imaging.
I've been saying it for a month.
Hello.
Well, it's like it's my fucking fault. Like I'm not the only one who makes the schedule around here.
We have so much free
what?
time. Tomorrow, we're
Dude,
only
I
going to
know.
be doing construction in the studio.
I know.
Dressing of the studio. We're going to be putting up shelves. We're going to be moving in a lot of,
I know,
we have
dude,
so
it's
much
so
time
brutal.
in between.
We don't.
Are
you kidding me?
We'll have to go to Gualberto's to get a breakfast burrito before we head to the studio.
Here's some non-sports for you. Gualberto's or Beto's?
Gualberto's, 100%.
Nah, I'm Beto's. The pico salsa burrito at Beto's, whatever the hell
when
it is.
they have whole pinto beans.
Yeah, when they have... excellent caveat. When they have
haven't.
whole pinto beans.
Recently, like the last time, they were like, we have enough for one.
Neat.
The rest of you are screwed.
Yeah, I love Beto's, but yeah, you're right.
We didn't ask about whole pinto beans at Gualberto's, so we need to.
I'm sorry, what is it called?
Gualberto's.
Don't do the ESPN lady on Sports Center in the morning, please.
Yeah, next question.
That drives me crazy. They're like, okay, yeah, we're over here and we're talking to Raphael, and he is going to speak English. I hate when people who are not of that lane. If that's your dialect, okay, cool. But if you are just a white guy and you just speak English,
yeah, if you're Steve from The Office,
and you're like Raphael, enchilada, stop it.
Hey, Claw.
Seriously, stop it. That drives me crazy.
Why is it wrong to try and pronounce something the way that it should be pronounced?
I think it's pronounced again, Miguel, or whatever the word is. It should just say it in your native dialect. If you speak English, great.
If Maria, in English is Maria,
Stop.
and someone wants their name pronounced correctly, and you can do that, why is that wrong? I genuinely, I don't
So
know why
wait,
it's wrong.
is pronouncing it Maria wrong?
If their name is pronounced differently than the way it looks to you.
Right, but that has Maria in Spanish and Maria in English is Maria.
Maria and Maria
But it's
and Maria.
pronounced differently.
This is not black versus like negro. That's totally different, right? It's a different pronunciation. It's a different word. Maria is Maria. It's not Maria.
Right.
Like it's Maria.
Right.
Are you not slapping Maria in the face figuratively by going, "Oh, hey, good to see you, Maria. How are you doing?"
Nobody doesn't like that.
Let me tell you what.
By the way, it's really good to see you, Maria. How is Raphael?
Nobody doesn't like
On
that.
Sports Center, yes, they do. Yes. Tell me, we turn it off. We like, it's, anyway. She's so unhappy with me right now. Anyway.
The salt is real, bro.
Just pronounce the name normally. There's no reason to get like all crazy.
I need more coffee.
Larry Pilgrim says, I speak fluent Spanish. That's cool.
No, he said Spanglish.
Fluent Spanglish. Okay.
It's a good skill to have.
I don't read well at all. M. Johnson says, I'm with Mrs. Monty on this. You are?
Okay. What else we got?
James Knight says, hey, guys, sorry I'm late. I just got home from consuming many 4Xs. Yeah, we wouldn't know because you...
That's cute.
Oh,
Remember when I had my first beer?
James.
You've welched on your bet. You know. It just, you know. VT says, late night run to Beto's is unmatched. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That Gualberto's, did you see the sign that said, we're no longer open 24 hours. We're closed from 2:30 to 5:30. I was like, damn, who's going there between 2:30 and 5:30? Well, I mean,
Clearly
I guess 5:30
enough.
I
VT,
could see if you're
that's
really
who.
early. You have to work, like, a lot of construction starts super early, but like 2:30, okay. But you can still get a burrito up until 2:30. I'm just saying.
You can. VT also said, I think it's funny hearing people try to pronounce Polynesian names and words. Like his name is very difficult to pronounce. His name is spelled Taukiuvea. So that's Vey, I'm pretty sure. So it's Tukiuve. That's completely wrong. That's why I call you VT, by the way. You're exactly right. But I am proud of my Kingsley Tuamatai.
Oh boy.
Suamataia.
Bye.
Kingsley Suamataia. I am very proud of that fact. Thank you, Greg Rebell. I stole it from you. Josh Lovren says Aaron. Exactly.
Yes.
Oh my God.
M. Johnson says, actually, I changed my mind. Haha. Thank you. He's with
Where is
Team
Aaron
Monty.
right now?
Jansen says, when you said Negro, Jake looked at you like he was so worried but so intrigued. That's like a Spanish word.
I know.
Like I wasn't being racist.
I know you were. I never.
Lord.
Don't look at me. I never said you were. Like.
Problem arises if Maria says her name is pronounced Raphael. I agree. That's when
you start talking shit.
Yeah, that's when the thing gets confusing a little bit for me. Best late night hammered. Let's eat some
Jack
food
in the Box.
Without a doubt.
Jack in the Box.
Without
Jack in
a
the
doubt
Box
about it,
tacos.
dude. Without
Come
a doubt.
on.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Jack in the Box tacos are like what you can crush.
Yeah, I went way back in the day. I don't know. I was probably 17, 18, 19. And I had a girlfriend that threw this huge party.
Okay, the camera.
And, oh, sorry, my bad.
She's
nice
like putting
nice
on her
headset.
headset.
My bad. Anyway, the point is, so me and this girl end up at Taco Bell.
Right. Oh, okay. Taco Bell's up there.
I'm the sober guy at the party when I'm driving. I never drink when I drive.
Right.
I drink pretty sparingly anyway.
Yeah.
But so she's hammered drunk. We were 21, of course. Hammered drunk. And we went to I'm going to take her home in good old Libertyville, Illinois. And she's like, hey, bro, why don't we stop at Taco Bell in Mundelein?
Hey, guys.
Taco Bell in Mundelein.
Mundelein. Oh, my God.
So we stopped at the Taco Bell in Mundelein, right across the street from the Holiday Inn. And she threw up all over the car door.
Oh, God.
In the drive-thru at Taco Bell.
Feel responsible.
Dude. It was so late, too. It was the middle of the night. Like, this was a 2 a.m. run.
So to be
Taco
clear,
Bell.
she threw up in the car.
She opened the door to throw up on the ground, and she threw up all over the car door. Uh-oh. It was gnar. And then she pounded like a 10-pack of tacos.
Dude, that is, man. Do you remember what you were thinking while she was throwing up? Were you like, damn, why did I do this to myself?
I dropped an F-bomb or 7. I mean, like, yeah, it was not.
Yeah.
No, not
dude,
good.
Brutal.
No, but you don't drink or you're boring as hell. So,
yeah.
You know. Tom Basilius says Beto's mixed breakfast burritos after the bar. It's an SLC staple. I ain't saying you wrong. Brent says Beto's is very popular. Vito's is best at 2:37 a.m.
Not 2:38 though.
Okay. My name is Greg and the G is silent. Hello, Reg. Nice to meet you, Reg. No, it's not. NY Jazz fan says, Monty, you know this. You're Italian. I am Italian. What did you say? He said, Ruffs, I like you, man, but you always seem like you're looking for a fight. Your spirit animal may be a porcupine.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
You know. Yeah, I see. Giggity says, adding the accent for one word sounds ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it's funny hearing. I read that one. My bad. My bad.
You know.
Pronunciation arise. I read that one too. I need to go down. Oh, there's the comment dump right there. Dallin Sproul. Best late night for me has always been Del Taco or McDonald's breakfast. No, McDonald's. I don't think I'll ever eat at McDonald's again.
Oh, stop.
I know it probably not popular opinion, but it slaps. So, listen, dude. Del Taco
or McDonald's breakfast is fine. It's fine. McDonald's, anything else is crap.
Yeah, okay. VT says White Castle. Oh my God,
White Castle sliders, dude.
Dude, the problem is it's a laxative, but I mean,
it really is though.
White Castle is amazing. White Castle is amazing.
Keep it real.
James Knight says, congrats on the new Swank studio. Good luck. Well deserved. Thank you.
Appreciate that, James.
Thank you. Brent Burnett says the G is silent. What? It's not. His name's not. It's Greg.
He was making a joke.
Gregory, please. I mean, Gregory. What is it? Oh my God. You guys are crazy. LOL, next comment. Exactly right. Jansen says Del Taco is the worst fast food ever. Worse than Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. at the district closed.
Yep.
Out of business.
Yep.
Out of business. Rhett Williams says Chick-fil-A breakfast is the best.
I do admit, I will concede that a egg and cheese biscuit from Chick-fil-A is fire. I don't really like Chick-fil-A outside of that. Egg and cheese biscuit, absolute fire.
Can I just say that the chicken sandwich boom, like Dirty Bird ruined Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Like you just can't do it. Like the tenders, you can't do it. Like I don't know how you do it. Like, and I don't know how you go anywhere. There's really only two, Dirty Bird and Cane's. And Cane's, they just put cocaine, pure uncut cocaine. They mix it in with their ranch.
Right.
So it's very difficult to avoid their ranch, but my God. Tom Basilius says Denny's is a good late night spot. Same girl that threw up in the car at Taco Bell.
Yeah, there's something about a good stack of buttermilk pancakes at 2 a.m., bro.
She also used to throw up in the bushes at Denny's.
What was your thing with throwing up in the bush?
She was a heavy drinker, dude.
Yeah.
She was a hell of a lot of fun. Derek Firth says Wendy's breakfast Baconator is good. There's a breakfast Baconator.
I didn't know that, but that sounds good.
Brent says Carl's Jr. breakfast is awesome. Never had it. Les Wayman says Wendy's breakfast is the worst. Never again. Well, and you know what the problem is? The Wendy's by us is just so understaffed.
Well,
you can never get breakfast.
They're never open.
Yeah,
because they're closed.
You can never get it. It's
now,
terrible.
We did have Burger King egg and cheese croissant yesterday. That was pretty good.
No, dude, I'm not doing Cane's. Michael Peck says Cane's has no sauce, though. No, dude. No. No. Hola Billy says, which bush was she throwing up in? No, I'm not playing your childish games, Hola Billy. Hola Billy, I'm not playing your childish games. You know.
That was well done.
No. Ruff's Official says Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets are the best. They are good.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, man, you go to Dirty Bird and get tenders, it's over. It's over.
What is Les saying there at the bottom?
Wendy's breakfast is so bad, nobody wants to make it.
Well, hey.
You ain't wrong, Les.
That's right, T.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a great point.
Now, listen, Rhett Williams, this is why Rhett Williams is a stud.
Okay.
Maverick Bonafide breakfast is fire. I'm telling you.
All due respect.
And you remember that Uncle Monty told you this. You remember. Uncle Monty educated your colon on this. The Maverick breakfast burrito is awfully good.
Yes, it is.
And it is worth your time.
It's simple, it's smart, it's cheese, it's egg, it's tortilla.
You go in there, you get a yellow Rockstar Recovery.
Yes.
You get a bottle of Fiji water.
Yes.
And you get a breakfast burrito.
Yes.
You eat half the burrito, you drink the full bottle of water like you're going to get pregnant from a water baby.
I want it.
You eat the other half of the burrito, and then you slam, and I mean slam, that Rockstar Recovery down the hole in your face, and you're set for the day, dude. I might not do it in that order or that, modus operandi.
Who does that?
All I'm saying is the Maverick breakfast burrito is really good.
Totally bomb.
Teddy Wayman says, I like an ice cold Rockstar for breakfast.
Hell yeah, dude. Come on, man.
The sad thing is, we have an ice cold Rockstar for breakfast every day.
Dude, we're up for probably 5.5 hours before we eat anything.
But see, look at VT. VT says I'm more of a monster
the white
guy.
monsters. I love the white monster.
Now, we debate this all the time, and we're way late, but we debate this all the time.
Yeah.
Jake is a white monster guy. I like white monster a lot. It's just carbonated.
Yeah.
So the Rockstar Recovery is where I'm at, dude. But what do we get at the Maverick Center when we're there all the time?
Monster.
They have a vending machine that's got Monster in it, the white monster. So we get the white monster, and I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I just don't like the carbonation.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And I feel like it's a bit stronger, too.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all. I don't. But I mean, when you're talking about strong and being stout, you're talking about tridaytrading.com/Monty.
See what you did there?
We all know you build a stout life. You guys, please, right now, get to tridaytrading.com/Monty. Check out the free webinar. Because I'm telling you, you guys, you've got to stop chasing these side hustles. And this is how we go about things in our life. I think you guys know we're pretty transparent. We got off the 9 to 5 and we're working for ourselves. You've got to do that. And one of the best ways to do that is day trading. And I think we all love dabbling in the market. Day trading is absolutely an avenue for you to be anything you want your life to be. You can do it through day trading. But you got to start by watching the free webinar at trydaytrading.com/Monty. It's no obligation. Again, it's free. It costs you nothing. Trydaytrading.com/Monty. And all you have to do is make a decision. Watch that webinar and make a decision. Take the first step to prosperity. And day trading is legit. And the reason I say it's legit is because you now have tax strategists and tax strategies specifically designed to offset the tax liability of people that are making hundreds of thousands and millions in day trading. And I put this stuff on my Instagram all the time, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show. You have to have a tax strategy because you're making that kind of bread day trading. So get to trydaytrading.com. Buy that new car, man. Buy that bigger house. Take your kids to Vegas to watch the Las Vegas Bowl with Utah or BYU and Notre Dame. Live the life you want to live. And if you're single...
What are you looking at me
like
for?
Some people, if you're single, be a stud, dude. Go out and live that life. Do what you got to do at trydaytrading.com/Monty. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. All right. That's it. Show's over. One other small little ask that I have for you. Please go follow the Utah Grizzlies. Subscribe to the Utah Grizzlies on YouTube. That helps our show immensely. So right now, click the like button on this channel. Right now. On this video, give us a thumbs up and a like. All 93 of you that are here, please give us a thumbs up and a like. Go over to the search bar at the top of your screen and just type in Utah Grizzlies. Hit subscribe. That is a big favor to us. It helps our channel grow. We'll see you Monday. Will it be a Victory Monday on Monday, Jake?
Yes. Yes,
You think it'll be a Victory Monday on Monday?
Yes, it will.
Okay, let's hope so. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.